Oh, wait 1 second.
Just let me know when we're live. Go ahead and count me in with your fingers or whatever.
Go ahead and refresh the page, Giles, and see if it's started.
Oh, we might already be live? Wow.
We're live.
Might take a second. It says live?
Yep, we're live.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Would you like to explain what we're doing here today?
So today we are having the great debate. Basically, I put together a list of things that we will be debating tonight. And we will see where we stand on these subject matters. We are going to slowly rotate through who is talking. We're going to be keeping track here to see who, at the end of the night, has won the most debates. We have currently an even amount of people. So if there's anyone in the audience, please let us know who you think wins which debates so we can break any ties.
We love audience feedback. Absolutely. Do any of the others have anything they'd like to say before we start?
I'm Jesus. That's
Yes.
Camera.
We have Jesus, a star guest of the night.
Jesus has risen once again to argue. So
To see which hill he will die on.
many hills I will die on.
Specifically
For your
Gallia.
sins.
And then we also have Giles.
I'm going to lose.
Very confident in what he's imagined.
We're also
the night to go.
drinking our favorite drink, non-sponsored White Claws.
Sponsored by not White Claws.
And I'm drinking
You're not
water.
mic'd up.
Yeah, you're
Which
not
is a
like
hilarious joke that will come into effect later.
Joke! I'm drinking water.
the microphone is on our chest.
I can kind of
Joke!
pick it up.
I'm drinking water.
All right, so
How does the audio sound so far, Giles? Pretty decent. Alrighty.
I think we want to get our timer set. I think I'm going to let you go first on this first debate.
Do you want to list the question out? Because it's behind me, so I can't see it.
So, Ethan, how many towels should you own?
Towels. Very good question to start the night. Absolutely engaging. I love it.
When you're ready to start talking, please hit the 2-minute timer.
Okay, so the number of towels that you should have should be specific to the amount of people that have ever used your shower. You should have 3 per person that has ever used your shower. And yeah, that's my argument, basically. So, 2 towels is fine. 2 towels is for you, basically it. You know, you're fine normally with 2 towels because you take one, you wash it, and then whatever. But having 1 extra is really a sign of being an adult in life. Having that extra towel is what differentiates you from just some pleb who only owns 2 towels in his apartment. There's also the reason that towels are cheap. Like, you can just put a bunch under the storage closet. The problem isn't having too many towels. No one comes over to someone's apartment and it's just like, wow, you're a weirdo. You don't have enough towels. But if you walk into someone's house and they have 1 towel, or even just 2 towels, which are both dirty, then that's a bad sign right there. That's this person does not have their shit figured out. They haven't bothered to spend the $10 that it would take to get a second fucking towel, or a third fucking towel. Probably shouldn't swear in the first 10 minutes of an episode because, YouTube does very not like that. So my apologies.
Fuck YouTube.
There's nothing in the Bible against swearing.
Jesus has spoken, and as a staunch Republican, I can say that I follow the words of the Christ to the T. And God says I can use the word fuck. Alrighty, and I still have 34 seconds. So much time to argue about the fact that 3 towels is really the minimum the amount that you need in order to be a real person. Okay, the fact is that if you don't look like someone who has 3 towels, then you are also the type of person that doesn't have a bedpost. And we all know what the internet thinks about people that don't have bedposts or sheets that are navy colored. Those are just things that people look down on. And having enough towels is just a staple of being an adult. And I have 7 seconds left, and I'd like to just finish that off. That's my ending statement.
All right, you succeed your 3 seconds.
I succeed my 3 seconds, yes.
All right, I'm going to go now. See, the question isn't the minimum number of towels you should have, it's the number of towels you should have. And I'm arguing you should at least have 4 towels. 1 towel to dry yourself off of when you get out of the shower. A hand towel to dry your hands off with because you don't want to be drying with the same towel you just dried your body with. And you should have duplicates of those. When those are dirty, you can immediately remove them, put up the new ones, and put those in your laundry hamper so you can do them when you're doing laundry because you're not going to do a laundry of just a towel and a hand towel. There's no reason to immediately wash just 2 items. And also, your argument of someone who only has 1 towel is very valid. but I don't think you should end with just having, what was it, 3 towels, you say?
3 body towels.
3 body towels. Okay, so you're not even including the kitchen
That was going to be my
towels.
whole rebuttal argument. I was like, what if I have 1 normal towel and 3 hand towels? What's your take on that?
Those are towels. See, that's what we're talking about here. You're saying you're only having 3 towels. You have 1 in the bathroom for 1 drying your hands and 1 in the kitchen. Like, what are you drying your pots and pans with?
This is semantics over the word. What is a towel? I thought we were going into this with us.
It's called a kitchen towel. It is in the name.
Oh, God. Okay.
You, sir, have made a very terrible mistake here. All right? You should own, at least 4 towels. And you could have those be what I was suggesting, where you have 1 towel for drying your body, 1 towel for drying your hands with, and then duplicates of those. But honestly, you should have at least 1 towel in the kitchen for drying up any spills or for washing the counters. Because you should use towels and not sponges, because you can't really wash sponges very effectively. And that is a waste on our resources on this planet. I also see the rest of my time. You get your rebuttal started.
You're seceding 12 seconds. Wow, this man's cocky. All right, I'll start. Okay, first of all, the semantics of what is a towel is really like a pointless debate. Hand towels are like kitchen towels. I don't consider them real towels. They're just more dishcloths, to be honest, than regular towels. They're just there to clean up messes, as you said, or you wash your hands or whatever. Towels are the things that you use either at the beach, a beach towel is a real towel, or like a full body towel. That's a real towel. Though anything else is not a real towel. And yeah, if you want to bring those into the debate, then my argument goes even further. We should have like 7 or 9 towels at that point. You should have 3 for body, 2 for hand towels, because you never know when one is going to get dirty, so then you have to throw that one in and have a replacement. And then kitchen towels, you can have an enormous amount of kitchen towels. That's like, there's no limit, but a minimum would be at least 3 as well. I think you should have 3 of each type of towel. So that's my rebuttal, and I secede 2 seconds.
So you've changed your answer now to having 8 towels or 3 of each. I stand solidly by my 4 because I don't change my mind. God damn it! All right, fine. You got to make a good point with the beach towels in there. I still, my 4 still stands. You have 1 towel for drying your body. I would say 2 towels, 1 in the kitchen for drying up any spills, 1 for hand towels, and 1 beach towel because you don't want the dirty outside beach intermingling with the rest of your towels.
Okay, but where's the kitchen towels now?
That's what I'm saying. You have 1 for drying your body, 1 for drying your hands, and 1 in the kitchen.
So you think 1 towel for every purpose is enough towels?
Yeah.
That's not enough planning of foresight. I don't think you have an idea of what it is to be an individual. This goes back to my original argument. If you only have 1 towel for 1 specific purpose...
Well, see, I only have 1 towel because that's all I need in my...
We need you to stop interrupting the person whose time it is.
God damn it, I'm trying to be a Republican here.
And that, folks, is my time that was half taken over by Ethan. Ethan, good debate.
Good debate. Good debate, sir. All right, let's pass
next
the mics
up
off
is
to the people.
Giles.
No, we're debate.
We have to
say who gets the point.
Oh, right.
Right?
The debate who gets the point.
Yeah.
Audience, feel free to comment if you have any opinions.
Is there any audience?
That's the microphone.
No, this is the microphone. Wow.
Well, despite Ethan's lack of professionality and constantly interrupting Caleb during both arguments, I do think that Ethan did have the better argument overall.
I think both of you sound like you've been smoking crack, and neither of those think you have enough towels. You just have like 15 towels in your house. But Ethan has more towels overall, I believe, so I'm going to go with him. I think the argument you should have 3 towels per person for anyone who's ever been to your house is fucking ridiculous because... So you're saying that I visit your house, you immediately buy 3 more towels?
No, per person that's used your shower.
So I come over, I shower once, I go home back to Florida. You buy 3 more towels?
Time, though.
You're not part of this debate. You're not part of this
debate. I'm just trying to
debate.
understand his argument.
Can Ethan shut up? It is not his turn to talk.
I'm going with Ethan. I'm choosing
Okay,
Ethan.
Ethan wins just barely, but he needs to watch it.
I hope the viewers can't see up my loincloth either, because there's nothing under there.
No, we can see it.
Can you? Like under?
Not under.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
cool.
quickly, go double check.
Yeah, double check. Make sure the viewers are
All
getting
right.
flashed.
We're returning the
Like,
microphones.
Holy dong.
All right, so I will be continuing this debate. Ethan will not be returning. I'll be arguing against David Giles.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I like how I took his microphone, so he had to take the other one from Matthew.
Mhm.
Or, as he's better known, Jesus.
Who the fuck is Matthew?
The book of the Bible. You're specifically the Book of Matthew version of Jesus,
You know, I can't argue with that.
All
which
right,
is the worst book of the Gospels.
Giles, would you like to go first in this debate?
No.
All right, so I'm going to go first.
Mhm.
So this one is, if a fruit was able to win a fight, which kind would win? Let me reset the timer here, as I'm not stalling for time, and so they get the answer to this question.
Time to go ahead and start it.
All right, so fruit that would win in a fight. I can't remember the name, but it's a spiky fruit that smells like vomit when you cut open to it.
Can I inject it in?
No helping. No helping.
So basically, I will look up the name of the fruit while this debate is happening.
No citing your sources. You are failing the debate.
I feel like I'm fairly within my debate.
Judges, remember this. Judges, remember that they're looking up supplemental material and not trusting their own debating skills.
Oh, Jesus will.
The durian. Nothing can beat the durian in the fight because one is under a large, spiky, protective shell, and even if you were able to break through that thing, the overarching pungent smell would ruin any other fruit that comes in contact with it. The durian still tastes good because people still eat it, but I don't think any fruit, apple, blueberry, whatever fruit that you are coming into contact with would be edible after coming into this rampant odor that is the smell. And again, that's even if you can get through its hard, protective shell with its very hard spikes. Anything you try and smash into that thing is not going to be able to access it. I'm just going to hand it off to you because I don't have anything else to say.
I just have one thing to say to that. Is fruit able to smell? No. Fruit then would not be affected by the ability of durian to have a bad smell. This is a useless fact that you have added to this fruit fight. Whereas a prickly pear, actually we know can withstand other predators already. We don't know that really about the durian. All you went on about was that, oh, it has a slightly hard casing, but not even that hard of a casing. Have you had durian before? I see that you're reading, but have you ever had durian? No, it looks like. Have you ever smelled it? No. Well, so since durian we know is a plenty edible plant, fruit, whatever, and the sense of smell does not affect plants who are fighting, the prickly pear we know actually has weapons, not just defense. So with this all said, I cede my time because the prickly pear has weapons.
So you ceded your time, but you did not go into the detail of what weapons does it have. What weapons are you coming at me with that you're going to be
Thorns.
Shut up, Giles. That you're going to be able to pierce this very hard, thick shell. And I did also cut that it is covered in spikes all the way around. Not particularly long spikes, but the hard outer casing. However this battle is going down, drop test, smush test, stare off, I don't think that any little prickly pear is going to be able to stand with the all-encompassing power of the durian.
All right, round two. Well, you see, they have thorns, actual thorns, and the durian does have some slight bumps and ridges, but they're not actually sharp enough to even hurt a person. And this is also a hypothetical where they can fight. And in this hypothetical where the prickly pear can't fight, it at least has weapons. We can assume that it can actually move as well in this instance and could probably dodge away from the durian, which being too large is too slow to actually do anything. It's too oblong. The prickly pear would clearly win in both dexterity, agility, and also just raw damage output. And also, again, it doesn't have a goddamn sense of smell. I cede my time.
The durian would roll. All right, judges.
Okay. Jesus, can we get on the
Jesus.
stage? For you. Alrighty, so we have to decide on a winner of that argument.
Both arguments again were absolutely horrible.
There was a lot of seceding time of both players. I don't know why they were so unwilling to take the time to actually describe which fruit was better.
Listen, Jesus has not been around for a while. I've been up in heaven, but I don't think it's seceding, is it? That's like leaving a country. The South seceded.
You can secede your time.
Can you?
Yeah, that's the word that they use
Is
in
that the right-
actual debates. Yeah,
Oh.
like give up.
Okay, sorry.
again, Jesus hasn't been on Earth
Jesus
for a
is
long time, so he's
by this
fascinated by
technology. There's a
it.
smiley face on it, and it's kind of confusing Jesus. I think Giles automatically wins because Caleb had to fucking Google shit. So, my point goes to Giles.
Just so we don't have a tiebreaker, I'll also give it to Giles. I liked the idea of a durian. That's what you picked, right? Yeah, I liked that better, but you really didn't defend your point, and you did have to Google something immediately. So you obviously didn't think it really through. You didn't have strong passions about what argument you had. So I think the point goes to Giles.
Established that I was not allowed to Google during the debates.
Well, that's how
You're
a debate
allowed
works.
to. It just looks bad. Okay.
Matthew, stay on set. Caleb, go back on.
All right, I guess we're getting all of mine out of the way. All right, Matt.
That's me. Yeah, sorry.
Which bear is best?
Can you call me by my proper name? Excuse you.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Matthew, Jesus Christ.
Just say Jesus Christ. Jesus
Christ.
H Christ.
Which bear is best?
The dancing bear. The dancing bear. The what?
You have 2 minutes. Go.
I have 2 minutes to talk. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you
That's
can
me.
just see time if you don't want to keep going.
The best bear was the strip club formerly in Northwest Portland known as the Dancing Bear. The name is truly creative and one of a kind. It has since gone out of business because unfortunately today's youth do not appreciate strip clubs like we did back in time before time. Because obviously Jesus hung out with prostitutes. And where do you think he met those? At the Dancing Bear and other strip clubs. It was called the Dancing Camel at that point, back in Galilee. But the Dancing Bear has the same energy, and your set is currently falling apart. Yeah. I like that we're holding it up with anything we can find. I don't think I need to argue much more. How could you not want to go to the Dancing Bear and see titties? How is that not the best bear?
So you see your time?
I secede from the union.
52 seconds succeed. That's the most yet. Well, I think the dancing bear is probably a very good bear. I don't think it's the best bear. Out of all bears out there, the sun bear, black bear, polar bear, I don't think a club is a good you're not allowed to talk. Is the best representation of what is a bear. I don't think it's the best. My opponent is threatening me. That's a good representation of bear. Now, you know what best bear is? Polar bear. Polar bear, best bear. As example, why would we have a plushie of a polar bear if polar bear was not best bear? It is biggest bear. It is strongest bear. It is most persistent bear. Polar bear is best bear. I succeed the rest of my time.
I think if you hung around at locations like the Sanctuary or CC Slaughters, you would find more persistent bears than the polar bear. Also, why do you have to bring race into this? Just like we start a debate, you bring up the sun bear, the black bear. Why you got to bring race into this? Also, you're saying this bear means shit? This is what I think of your goddamn bear! I have nothing left to say. The Dancing Bear is and will always reign supreme. May it rest in peace. Just like the polar bears will soon enough when they all die because of global warming.
Okay, judges, please.
Wait, don't you have your rebuttal?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna see here.
I think
Killed my bear.
the global warming point's pretty good.
That was a good point. To be honest, just Jesus had an outstanding performance there during that debate. The upside down cross, while very heretical to his own cause, I think I have to give him the point.
For the sake of not causing a tie, I'll agree that
Also, that's not a polar bear, that's ice bear.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, yeah, so.
yeah, that a well fought battle, but in the end, yeah, I think global warming is truly going to kill. If it was the best bear, it wouldn't be killed by global warming so soon. But well fought. You stay out.
Alrighty.
He attacked my comrade there. I feel like he should have lost simply on principle of bringing violence into this.
comrade on stage to a debate.
It's like a D&D like friendly goblin bobkin, you know? It's just like if you bring him into the fight, he might get attacked.
This is a fight with words. He hit him with a wooden sword.
Okay. Yeah.
Across.
All right.
What's the next discussion?
Is cheating in school ethical?
Ooh. I don't think we picked sides on this. What? You go first.
Cheating in school is absolutely ethical. When you're in the real world, you are allowed to look shit up. If you are an electrical engineer and you encounter a problem that you don't know how to encounter, you can Google it. A software developer, you don't know how to program this thing, you can Google it. You are absolutely allowed to use resources in the actual field that you are in. Why wouldn't you allow to use those in school? If you need to know how to summarize this really long paragraph into something that's comprehensible, finding a condensed thing online is perfectly valid. You know, if you can watch the movie and get all the points to answer the questions, then obviously you didn't need to read the book.
Still a minute of time left.
The entire world is essentially an open notes test. And what is cheating but having the notes you bring along with you? That everything you have in there is the knowledge you have. Looking at the person's paper next to you, that's knowledge in the world. You are simply using your skills to gather resources to expand your own knowledge in the moment. Life is a test, and we're always cheating. I'll pat it off.
Okay. I will take the opposite stance and say that if you are using resources that you do not personally know, you are not actually doing what is expected of you. There are so many times in your life when you go to something like a job that you actually don't have the opportunity to Google something. If you were put on the spot and someone says, like, I need this information, and you don't have it, then you failed the test. The test is life, and you don't always get to depend on the books and resources you have. Also, education, specifically because we're talking about in school, is not a test of whether or not you can do things in real life. It is the process of learning. And if you are cheating, which doesn't always mean just Googling something, by the way, you can write things on your hand, and there's definitely variations of cheating. And I don't think that cheating in school is ethical at all. You are depriving, you're lying, and I don't believe that lying is fair to yourself or to the system that you are trying to succeed in. And I think it's absolutely repulsive when someone doesn't have the gall of just actually sitting down and learning something or doing something the right way the first time. It's a shortcut in order to succeed where you shouldn't be succeeding. And really, if we're living on a system of merits, Googling something or cheating isn't really the way that it was designed to work. There's no way to cheat a lot of things also. You can say that you can cheat in the real, or not cheat, but you can Google things in the real world, but there are plenty of situations, like I said, where you can't do that. Like, an electrician might not be able to sit down and Google something if he has both hands on electrical wires. He might just have to actually know where the red wire goes and where the blue wire goes. I think it's disingenuous and lying at its core, and I don't think that we should be promoting or validating people's lies.
All right, that is your time. I'm going ahead and rebuttal. So if you're like in the moment where you're an electrician, you're holding two wires and you need to know how to connect them, I think if you've gotten yourself in that situation, you're going to need to know how to do it. Because even when you are cheating, you're still absorbing the information. You can be taking a test and looking up the answers, and you're still reading it when you're writing it in there. And note-taking is the primary way of when you're learning stuff. And the most stuff you need to learn is on the test. And also, there's some things you can't cheat in the test. Like writing an essay there, sitting in front of the teacher. You can't cheat that unless you have the entire essay written up on your sleeves, in which case you've already written that on your arm. Again, you're absorbing the information. I also want to draw a difference between cheating and plagiarism. Those are two different things. And plagiarism is bad because you're not coming up with your own words, but cheating in general, as in getting the answers or looking it up as an open source, is completely fine.
Can you reiterate your first point just again so I can have it for... You said that cheating is what?
What? Cheating is fine in school.
Yeah.
That's my first point.
That's your no. When you're in your rebuttal, you said that like
If you're saying,
that you were absorbing information. Okay, I'll start my time now. Okay, you say that cheating can still let you absorb information, but I fundamentally disagree. If you are cheating, you are not actually putting in the work to learn it. And like you say that in tests like this, yeah, cheating in tests might pass you the test, but you aren't learning the core fundamentals of what you're supposed to be doing. If you're doing a math test and you write down the answers, or you find a very similar question and like memorize how to do it and then see something similar and do it, you're still not memorizing the underlying principles. I don't think you're learning anything if you actively are cheating your way through a course. And plagiarism is cheating. It's just getting the information from somewhere else. It is just grabbing something that isn't yours, because that's what cheating is. Someone else did the work and you're copying off them and taking it and then presenting it as your own work. The fundamental thing of, I said before that it's lying, but I also think it's stealing. There's no situation where you're taking something from someone else and you're not learning it. It's not getting ingrained.
Most of the learning you need in the world is done on the job anyway.
It's over. It doesn't matter.
That is true. I will agree.
So, Matthew, what do you think of this debate?
I'm torn here because I definitely cheated when I wrote the Bible. But I also don't want anybody else to upstage me because I'm Jesus. So I'm going to go with Ethan on this one.
Ooh. So, I'll be honest. I think I might agree more with Ethan, but I don't think Ethan's argument was the most convincing argument.
I won't say that his actually that's true. God, Caleb did make a more convincing argument. Ethan's argument was kind of falling apart there by the end, just like I was on the cross. So, are you saying you're going with Caleb?
I'm saying I trust you on this one. You make your pick.
Yeah, I think I do have to give it to Caleb on this one, actually. I think his argument was better.
All right. Well, for the first time in 4 rounds, Caleb has a point. Possibly for the first time in ever, Caleb has a point. Matthew, you're up next.
I am. Europe is next?
Right,
Jesus didn't live in Europe.
All right, Jesus, you want to go first on this one or not?
You go first.
All right, I'm going to go first on...
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Sativa or indica?
Yeah, sativa or indica.
Yeah, you're going first.
Okay. It's got to be indica. So the reason why it's got to be indica is because...
Jesus needs an ashtray, by the way. Get on that or I'll fucking smite
This
you.
is actually grass. We're not doing the naughty stuff on stream, especially Jesus. Jesus wouldn't do that.
Jesus would never smoke.
It's basil.
It's basil.
And rosemary.
We're anyway, that's 40, so my second is gone.
Wait, so what are you arguing?
It has to be sativa, because when I smoke, I don't want to be put into the couch. I want to be able to get up and do my stuff, because weed already has a large reputation for making people lazy and not being able to get their work done. And we don't need to be smoking a strain that is known for doing that to us. We need to be able to smoke a strain that still relaxes us, still puts us in a zen place, but not one that is going to knock us into the couch, put us down for the count, and not let us get any work done. A lot of people use this for stress management, for pain management, and we don't need to be knocking ourselves out for that. That's what sleep is for. There is definitely other ways of getting that muscle relaxant thank you. That we don't need indica for, which is just perpetuating the negative stereotype of the stoned out of their mind stoner that just lays on the couch all day. Because if you don't know, indica couch.
Is that your time?
I will make that my closing statement.
Before we start the debate, can I ask what weed you're smoking right now?
Well, obviously, we're smoking indica.
Wait, you're arguing for a sativa.
No, he's arguing for
I
sativa.
argued for sativa.
He's not even
I
paying
don't know
fucking
what
attention.
I said at first, but I ended up going for sativa.
You went for sativa. But the thing is, here we're smoking indica and we're having a rousing debate because Jesus always goes with indica. He actually prefers a hybrid, but this is an indica heavy hybrid. Jesus is a.
You don't have to put it in your mouth. You can put it. It makes it sound too loud. Just put it on yourself.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold it right here. All right. Jesus always goes with the hybrid because he's an equal opportunity savior. This joint is pretty fucking crushed, so.
Yeah, it does not pass through very well. We didn't hit the fucking timer button.
Well, that's perfect because I need some more time to defend this because I lost my because I got Giles doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Indica is better for pain management just because of the stereotype that indica couch. You're telling me that I should believe the anti-pot rhetoric. I have been fighting for legalization since they put me up on the cross, and I will continue to fight in all of the states which it has not been legalized. I am a proud follower of the Church of Marijuana, and I believe that a joint a day keeps the doctor away. Also, to reiterate the point of how indica couch is better for pain management and the stereotype of indica couch. Fucking, oh my god, what's this guy's name? I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high. But that was all in tongue in cheek. And he released a version later where he talked about I was in chronic pain and then I got high. I couldn't eat because I had cancer and then I got high because weed saves lives. Yeah, and you smoked the indica, so you've basically already proven that I'm the best.
You succeed your time?
No, I'm gonna smoke this for the rest of my time. I'm not gonna let you talk.
You have 35 seconds to do with as you please.
I'm blowing smoke into the microphone with hopes that our viewers can smell the delicious indica and know that I am correct. Neither of these two fuckers smoke, so I think I'm gonna lose this one. But all that matters
isn't to smoke or not to smoke. It's just what to smoke.
Yeah, but neither of you smoke, so you would have no fucking idea. It's like, do you like red wine or white wine?
I used to smoke.
Jesus here, we only drink clean.
You want to come
fresh
closer
water.
and get on the mic?
No, I like being a background heckler.
Jesus only drinks clean, fresh.
So what Ethan is saying is that he
water.
used to smoke. He just
and
doesn't
nothing
smoke anymore.
else. Nothing but water.
All right, your time's up. My time, bitch. So his whole defense about, I couldn't eat food because I had cancer and then I got high. That is only seeing the pros of weed, not specifically indica.
I
Shut
said
up.
indica's
It is my
better at
time.
it. You're just misrepresenting my argument.
You are talking during my time, sir. I've been sitting here quietly, and I have been respecting the time of every single debater that's come up against me, except for Gus. And I will continue to do so.
I would like to disagree.
But Matthew has no respect for the format.
You spoke during my time there. I handed you the joint. You thanked me. That I was speaking.
And also, this man handed me the joint before telling me what it was, tricking me into smoking the indica. And even then, it's still a hybrid. He doesn't like pure indica because we all know that we need the sativa to not completely knock us out. I know a lot of people who enjoy smoking but cannot smoke indica because it simply knocks them down on the ground. And even if it is better, just smoke more.
All right. Decide on that person.
Oh, God.
Go on.
So, personally, I do think Matthew made a really good point in saying, why are we giving into anti-smoker rhetoric? So I think that was a good argument, or good rebuttal of Caleb's argument, but I do think overall Caleb had a stronger one. I also don't think Caleb did a good job at rebutting anything
I think
Matthew
Caleb
said.
knew what the argument was for.
Yeah.
Jesus' argument was very specific to just smoking weed.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to give my point to Caleb.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm okay with handing it off to Caleb as well. I do think if Jesus went further on the why are you joining in the trash talking weed, then it would have stood a chance. But that didn't happen. So, anyways, we're moving on, and I guess I'm up now.
Wait, so who won?
Caleb.
Fuck!
I would like to
Fake
point
stoner.
out that it's not that we are falling into it, it's that we don't want to support it further into the future. We don't want to support the narrative that weed makes you lazy. So why would we continue saying that the one that is known for knocking you out and making you lazy is the one that we want to pose as the best? Because that is not the road that we want to continue walking down. I was going to say that during my time, I just forgot.
Why was it you forgot?
I have the memory of a goldfish.
That's we've had two.
Well, our one current viewer said that Doobie Smoking Jesus was a badass, so I think I should get a half point.
We can give Matthew a half of a point.
No.
Okay.
Hey, he's ready to
He said no.
I
Next
say yes.
next up is between me and Giles.
Yep.
Best cheap pizza place. I went first last time.
Oh, okay. I went first, though, of our argument.
I don't care. I went
Okay.
first last time. I've
Yeah.
been switching off so far
That's
with
fine.
each of my debaters. So
All right. Well, in which case... is this unlocked? It is. Okay, cool.
you're going.
Oh, all right. The best cheap pizza place is Little Caesars. Not for their pizza, but for their crazy breadsticks. Because those crazy breadsticks are affordable to anyone who's been on a really tight budget. As someone who has lived on an extremely tight budget before, those things are a lifesaver. And, like, their pizza is also not bad, which is better than I can say for some other places that I'll wait to mention because you haven't picked yours yet. The crazy breadsticks, they don't need an extra garlic dipping sauce oil. They don't need a filling to be good. They're just good as is. And the pizza, they have seasonings in it. I can eat it and be like, well, this is fine. It can get cold and I can eat it and go, this is fine. It doesn't matter the temperature or how many days have passed. It is still the same level of fine. There are other pizzas that will degrade in quality the second it cools off, and other ones that will just become inedible after they've cooled off. But Little Caesars is consistent. You know what you're getting. It's affordable. It is perfect for someone who is on a budget. And, I see the rest of my time.
So I have to say, maybe I'm just a little bit biased here because my sisters both work there, but the best cheap pizza place has to be... I forgot the name of the place. Durian. Papa Murphy's. It's not the cheapest place, but if you're going to get a pizza and you don't want to spend $30 for a really nice place downtown, go to fuck.
Such a good place.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the fucking name of anything right now. But yeah, because you get the pizza there, but you also need to take it home and bake it. So when you're cutting into it, it is freshly baked. It's as hot as it's going to get. You can also customize it, as you can at most places. But again, you're getting it freshly baked. All the little individual pieces. They have also dessert pizzas in there that are really good. And you're bringing up the point, the reason why you like Little Caesars is because of their breadsticks, correct? Okay. I don't think we should be judging a pizza place by their breadsticks. I think we should be judging it by their pizza and how good their pizza is. You're also saying that their pizza is good cold, it's good the next day. All pizza is good cold, all pizza is good the next day. I don't think you have enough respect for pizza as an art form. I don't think you enjoy pizza on the level that you can say that some pizzas aren't good the next day. Unless you're talking like a Chicago deep dish where the sauce is leaking into it, but you're not getting that as a cheap pizza place. So I don't think that should even be considered in your argument. I think that the take-home freshly bakedness of the restaurant that I'm talking about is by far the best thing you can get for it. Also, a lot of pizza places, you walk in there, unless you're ordering ahead, you're walking in, you're waiting for your order to be made, you're waiting for it to be baked, and it's a very long process. It's not an in and out. While at Papa Murphy's, you can go in there, you order pizza, and there might be a couple people in front of you, but they're going to pull a pre-made dough, freshly made that day, out of the back, slap it all together and wrap it up, and it's in your hands. You're out the door. You're back home.
Go ahead. Okay, so I will disagree thoroughly on all pizza is good cold. Costco pizza, the second it's cooled off for more than 30 minutes, has become the worst cheese you have ever had. It comes grainy and gritty, and the flavor is just completely ruined as well as the texture. I think you are setting yourself too low of a standard for what pizza could be if you're accepting a cold Costco pizza as good pizza. Also, you're talking about, it's so nice that you can have the pizza just like that. You still have to cook it for 15 minutes. What are you talking about? You have it just like that. No, you don't. You can get it to Little Caesars. You go there, you pick it up hot and fresh, and it's ready to go immediately because you just have them getting made. Also, they use Mexican blend cheese, not just mozzarella. It is a terrible combination of cheeses, and also the whole reason why you are going to a pizza restaurant, the reason why you are paying money is for a pizza oven, and your oven at home isn't good enough.
One, You dab the top of the Costco pizza with napkins to get the extra grease off. So when it cools down, it doesn't have that extra layer of grease on top, which ruins the cheese. You're
It's the
just
grit.
not good enough.
It's the grit of the cheese. It's not the oil. I did not complain about the oil.
Secondly, if you suddenly decide, I want pizza, what are you going to do? Sit there and you're out and about, you want pizza, you're going to go ahead and do a little decision, you sit there and wait. You can go into Pop Murphy's, you can get the pizza, and you can go home and you can wait in your own home for your oven to preheat, you can put it in there, you can do stuff around your house, you can get the comfort of your own home. You're not sitting there waiting for it inside the restaurant or in your car. You can actually live your life. And thirdly, gonna go back to this. All pizza is good pizza. I'm sorry. If you are not enjoying the pizza, you're not eating it right. If the pizza doesn't taste particularly good, you can still fold it up and eat it. That's the joy of pizza. It has bread. You can put it on all sides by rolling up the little slice. All pizza is good pizza, but especially if you get it cold in your home, if it doesn't have what you want it, because it's not off by the restaurant, you can put it on there yourself.
What the fuck were the arguments? Who was arguing what now? Because you're talking about Little Caesars.
Yes.
You're talking about Costco. You brought up Costco.
He brought up Costco!
Well,
And you
started
defended
talking-
Costco.
Because all pizza is good.
No, it's not.
I think they're both have horrible opinions because fucking Little Caesars sucks. Costco is okay, but the fact that neither of them could keep a goddamn train of thought going, we went from Little Caesars to Costco to fucking Papa Murphy's, and Papa Murphy's is not fucking.
We're not here to say that their arguments.
Papa Murphy's isn't cheap.
We can't say that there's a better argument. We're just here to decide who has the better argument.
Papa Murphy's,
Papa Murphy's.
Giles, because Papa
It's
Murphy's
still
isn't cheap.
cheap pizza.
How much?
It depends on the pizza you get. You can get it for like $12 to $15. You can get a more expensive one.
I'm gonna go with Giles. The
I
$5
don't-
hot and ready's kept my family alive during the Great Depression of 2008.
That was. That actually was.
I know. I'm not even kidding. My family went to their.
You know, actually, fuck. I don't think I can go with Caesar. You know, he had something to do with me being crucified. I think so.
That's the wrong era. That's okay.
If you
Hero had you killed, and Pilate.
No, it was the Romans in general. You have to stand your ground on this. You can't side with the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah, I
we
can't side
listen
with
to them.
Caesar.
It's me and you.
I can't side with Caesar. I think that Papa John.
You have $10 to get a
Papa
pizza.
John's half of
I would
you
rather-
can't get a pizza from Papa John's. You can get 2 pizzas from Little Caesars. It's best cheap pizza. Little
I
Caesars
have
is not the front.
$10. I could either go to Fred Meyer's and
That's not the option.
buy
so
a
it's
can
one
of
those
beans,
two.
or I can throw myself off of the Golden Gate Bridge. I think I'm buying the can of beans over throwing myself off the Golden Gate. I could have either said I wasn't the Son of God, or I could have been crucified. I think I made my choice. I'm going with not Caesar. I do not hail Caesar in this household,
What?
and that's my
So you're
final.
putting no argument, and you put a
No, I'm putting no Caesars.
But you're not voting for something.
I'm voting that Little Caesars sucks.
But that's not one of the options.
Yeah.
I'm voting for fucking
So,
him.
Do we have a tie?
Yeah, we're
That's
tying
a
it.
half point to each.
Cool.
Or we could just do no points.
No,
to each.
half point to each.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's arguing next?
We're gonna put them in green on the bottom
Cool.
for half points.
Bribe the judges for a win is next, and that's Caleb and Matt.
Well, I brought wine, and I gave you a free rotisserie chicken. Wait, Caleb and I are arguing.
I'm on this side of the table now,
Oh
folks.
shit! I can't
Hello
remember.
to the other side of the table.
Who's arguing first?
You absolute heathen.
What? About this makes me a heathen.
Show the audience. No, get closer.
You know, actually show the audience. That is David Giles in the nude.
It's not
Hello.
He's wearing a bikini. How dare you?
Where's your microphone at?
Right in my hand.
Keep clipping onto your shirt.
I hate clipping things onto my sexy shirts.
Are you actually not wearing underwear?
No.
Okay.
You
You
said
should probably clip it onto the. Is that a blanket you're wearing, sir?
It's my fucking robe, obviously.
I
The robe I'm
don't.
going to use. It's the robe covered in the blood of my enemies that
I
I've wiped
don't
up.
think you could wear that as a robe. I don't think that's robeable.
I'm taking these off and I'm going to put it on as a robe, and then when it falls off and the whole country gets flashed, it's your fault.
Okay, so you're agreeing that that won't support you as a robe.
Are we arguing that this won't support me as a robe, or that
No,
we're
we're
going to bribe
arguing
the
until
judges?
Ethan gets back because his phone locked. So we are unable to continue the debate. Now I ask you, sir, what the fuck is that red thing on your shoulder?
It's my fucking fighting towel. When I beat you with this cross, I've got to sop up the blood with something.
That's not very true.
This has got a nail that should not have been nailed down in the back.
Bribing me and Giles.
Yeah. You gotta unlock the phone though.
Why do we need the... Oh.
That's our timer. What, you saying we should do away with the timer and just scream at each other back and forth?
No, but I think this because he went to take a piss, we didn't have to fucking wait for him.
We couldn't unlock the phone!
We could have just fucking waited.
Alright, are you going first?
No.
I'm going first. I think, sir, as you are Jesus Christ, is morally unacceptable if you bribe the judges. Me, on the other hand, what do y'all want? I'll, $10 a person if you give me the point.
I'd do that.
$10 to each of you
Yeah.
for the point.
And Venmo.
Yeah, no, immediately
Yeah.
after this video is done, I will Venmo both
Give
of
me
you
something.
$10 if you give me the full point. Half point, nothing. You have to both
Yeah.
give me the full point. I will immediately Venmo you both $10.
So you have to give it before we vote. We have to see the money before we give the.
I mean, I'll show you my Venmo bank account.
No, you
to
have
send
to...
us the money before we.
You're not allowed to talk, sir. I am not okay with the amount of disrespect my opponent has been showing me during this debate. The amount of times he has talked over me alone means I deserve this
Talk about
point.
paying us.
Also giving you $10.
Did you just say talk about pegging us?
Paying.
Paying, yeah.
You're bribing us.
Yeah.
I'm giving the point whoever gives
He
me
will.
the
It's
He has
totally
agreed
okay
to peg you.
I don't think that Jesus Christ should be
Peg.
giving anyone anything as a bribe. It is simply against his nature. You, as the Republican representative, know anything about Jesus and bribes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $10 to the both of you. I'll show you my Venmo account. You both know I'm good for it. I've Venmoed you both so many times. I know Giles is trying to add some drama to this, but you both know I'm entirely willing to do this.
Okay, what are you gonna give us, Jesus?
I would like to see the money exchanged because I don't believe that this immoral man who would resort to bribery will actually come through. Now, is it bribery to salvation your souls from the eternal fires of hell? If you choose to go with bribery, then you're going straight to hell. But if you go with Jesus, your Lord and Savior, as it's said in the Bible, Corinthians 1:13-24, resort ye not to temptation among the bribed, but follow your Savior to the holy light. And as it says in the book of fucking Doctrine and Covenants of the Mormon Church, because I'm also Mormon Jesus, but I say unto you, mine angel shall go up before you and give thy blowjobs if you resort to the truth in heaven. Otherwise, y'all shall burn in hell. Yeah, and also, if you were going to vote for him, make him give you the money in this next minute. Otherwise, I really don't believe it. You better, if you're going to do it, Giles, you better stand firm. Otherwise, you're a coward. Make him send you the $10 before you vote for him. I swear to God, don't trust him.
Yeah.
He will lie. You will vote for him, and there will be no money
The 1
exchange.
minute if he sends us it, yeah. He can send it us during this final one.
He can send it during the final minute, and if he does not, then I immediately win because the bribery is false. In fact, send it right now during my 30 seconds just to prove it. Go ahead. Send it. Come on.
I think they are.
I don't know. I want to prove it. I'm watching this.
I didn't think this would actually work. I didn't think so either. I didn't know it was going to happen. If they Venmo us,
All right. He sent one of you $10. You can still vote for me and keep the money. You can still be saved and keep the $10. That's my last closing argument.
Now it's time for the rebuttal.
The rebuttal. I'm giving you money. He offered you blowjobs.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
got
want
$10.
blowjobs from Matthew? Is that something you want?
Still pick me.
What?
Do you
Still
want
pick me.
No.
Matthew
What do
to
you
get on
mean,
his
no?
hands and knees and give you a blowjob?
bribe
That's
you,
what
idiot.
he offered you. I'm
No.
giving you cash. I'm giving you
can't.
cash money.
That's
He offered you blowjobs, and I don't think anyone wants a blowjob from Matthew.
I disagree.
Stop talking! It's my time!
Don't misconstrue my words.
You can do that in your 1 minute rebuttal! It's me time!
Get
Me!
Wait, I get another rebuttal?
Yes! You get the 1 minute rebuttal after my 1 minute rebuttal!
Okay.
No! You hit the 2 minute timer!
No, I added a minute to that.
I hate you so much. Go.
You hate your Lord and Savior. He misconstrues. Jesus will not be blowing anybody. The angels will be blowing you. Also,
What are the names
you
of
just
the
got $10. You can still vote for me and say fuck you.
What are the names of these angels?
Fucking Samantha and Garantha. This man misconstrues every goddamn argument I make. This fucking asshole will go straight to hell for their bribery, their sinfulness, their lust, their breaking of our bulletin board.
That's you. You broke our bulletin board.
Bullshit. You can still vote for me. You have the $10. You have no loyalty. I cannot bribe you, but I can give you eternal salvation. And I think it would be fucking hilarious if you still gave me the win even after they paid you the $10. Because talk about fucking saying fuck you.
All right. Okay.
Took this microphone off of my
get
holy
this,
ass.
Get this off me.
Well, I do agree with Matthew. It'd be hilarious if right now we voted for Matthew. But also, I just got paid $10.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
just got
I
paid
mean-
money.
It would be funny, but also like $10 is $10. But also, Caleb is currently up in the lead by a full point.
I'm also going first. All of my arguments are first.
That's true.
That
This
is
even
true.
more
That is true.
Honestly, I think
I'm
I'm
okay
with
with
the $10.
I think it's okay. That
I
was
will
$10.
accept bribery,
Yeah.
but I have principles. I
If
believe.
I'm going to accept a bribe, I think I'm going to stick with it.
Yep.
So thank you for the $10, and you're welcome for the point.
Yeah, congrats. It was
I didn't think this was going to work.
A good politician stays bought.
That's true. You won't get bribed again if you fail a bribe. Okay, so who's up next? Alrighty. With who? Oh, yep.
Jesus fucking Christ. Not this dingleberry again.
I'm gonna have you go first. You keep disrespecting my time. The question is, though, shit.
Is though?
Is Jesus a Democrat or a Republican?
Well, you already...
Go.
You called me a Democrat earlier, but I'm a Republican, obviously. You just refuse to allow me to take bribes, but Jesus also doesn't need to bribe with earthly money. He just bribes with salvation. Obviously, Jesus believes that you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you fucking pansies, and that charity is for the meek. Did I say that the meek shall inherit the earth? Fuck no. I said the meek shall inherit the zero worth because Jeff Bezos shall burn their houses down to build another Amazon warehouse. I need more of this water, Jesus Christ. That's my name. It's some good water.
Can I have some water?
Sure.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. Wait. Shit. Sorry. I should not have given you my holy water.
Oh no, my insides are burning.
Yeah. I know. You're a Democrat. You fucking demon rat. That's what Democrat means. I don't have much stake in this game. Jesus thinks that all American political parties suck balls because the true political party is Jesus. Also, everybody in this room is a heathen for not following me in my true beliefs. And does it not say here on this page with a map of Samaria that the Holy Land is the birthplace of Ronald Reagan? Truly the best president to ever live. So, also, it's seed, not secede. You don't secede your time. The South seceded. Giles said it right. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Okay.
I'm not 100% right, but I'm not that stupid. So I cede my time to Caleb.
So, in this book here, there's many representations that Jesus is very clearly left-leaning. I have to let go of this because this is not neither of our Bibles, and we will damage it in this fight. So I will let go because I'm a good person. Because I am a Democrat. We know how to compromise. And if Jesus is known for anything, it's compromising. Now, there's plenty of things in that book to show that Jesus is left-leaning, and we know that the only people who left-lean are Democrats. There are no other people left-lean, or lean left. There's countless examples of him starting local groups to help people, Did some people not contribute like they said they did and then get eaten whole by the earth? Sure, but that's God's business.
Republican Jesus is a Democrat.
Give me the other way
That's
around.
probably the strongest argument I've heard.
So,
But Mormon Jesus is a Republican.
I don't know.
we're not
don't?
arguing Mormon Jesus. We're arguing Jesus. The Jesus that appears in not that Bible, but normal Bibles.
Well, wait,
Because I am a Democrat,
Jesus isn't in
and
it.
there are no Mormon Democrats.
what?
He's not.
I thought he came to the Americas.
Yeah, for like a chapter. He's not.
So
like,
what do you mean he's not in it?
So,
There's
my
not the.
opponent here keeps
That's
talking
not the
over
same
my
thing,
time.
idiot.
I
You
must
can't say he's
reiterate
not
to
in
you, the audience, that Jesus would definitely be a Democrat because he supports talking about the poor. He supports talking about doing better things. He definitely would sit around and talk about doing all of these really good, beneficial things without doing anything to actually benefit the things around him. That's why he wrote the book in the first place, to talk about.
I'd like to make my first argument also. I am Jesus. How are we arguing about this? I'm a Republican.
Sorry, that's not the end of the debate. That's the end of my time. You
That's-
get a rebuttal.
I am Jesus. They obviously have to pick me. I'm fucking Jesus. This heathen does not speak for me. If I say I'm a Republican, I'm a fucking Republican. Also, are you kidding me? You saying the Democrats work for anybody? The Republicans have been out there fucking doing their best to destroy this country for years. That's all the things we want. I know that's what you want. I know that's what you want. The Republicans are getting it done. The Democrats are waddling around like a bunch of pansies doing jack shit. Kamala Harris couldn't find her ass if it was glued to her forehead. Now think about it like this. RFK, who is now a Republican, left a dead bear cub in Central Park. And if that doesn't convince you that Jesus is a Republican, I don't fucking know what will convince you goddamn heathens. That's all I have to say. I cede my time. Now hand me my wine.
I get my last rebuttal. I don't think you're Jesus. I think there have been many people throughout time who have said to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. And I don't think that this lunatic that wandered into this building 10 minutes late to the meeting is the real Jesus Christ, because Jesus would have been on time. That glass isn't the same color. That is a different colored glass. So yeah, I think everything on the notion that he is Jesus, so he gets to make the call here, completely disrespect. He is showing the opposite of the cross. He also has been striking against violence, and you know what Jesus said about violence? Don't.
He loved it.
So, as I say, do what Jesus would do. Vote Democrat. As a seed my time.
You secede your time? Well, you're going to secede from the union, you fucking Republican, Democrat son of a bitch. You're going to get wine on my shawl. Took it off me. I turned water into wine and this glass into a different color.
I will say, Jesus did not make the strongest argument that he could have about being against big governments. That was
Yeah.
what a Republican would have done.
Neither made a good argument. This is the worst argument we've had by far.
I can't say that I enjoyed.
Can we say no point? Can we just agree to no vote?
I would agree to no point. You guys did not pick the staunch user. You did say that Jesus was pro-poor, but you didn't go into any detail with that. Where was the talking of the flipping of the table at the thing? Where was the religious background that I knew you grew up with?
In 1 year.
Yeah, it was just not there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't talk about government at all.
There was no government when I was fucking alive.
You got put on the cross.
You were
by
executed
a
by the
government.
state. The state killed you.
That's the only reason. That is not Jesus Christ!
What are you talking about? The Romans aren't a state.
They definitely were.
There were only 50 states. The Romans were a country.
No points.
No points.
No points. Okay.
Points.
Okay.
They don't get that. I'm not giving it to them.
Am I done yet? Do I have to keep debating?
Yep, we're on our
Who's-
hot dogs
who's
and
next?
sandwich.
Oh, okay.
And you picked yes. I'd like you to start the debate.
Are hot dogs a sandwich? I do believe, in fact, that hot dogs are a sandwich because by New York tax code, they are classified as sandwiches. In fact, it's simple because there's two pieces of bread, and they may be thinly connected there, but the amount of times you eat a hot dog and that small piece of bread lining their rips, and then you have two distinct pieces of bread that you then proceed to eat the rest of the sandwich with.
Giles, don't put that under the sink. Just put it in the laundry basket. There's more White Claws in the fridge. Sorry.
And like I said, as the New York tax code, it is classified as a sandwich. It is taxed as a sandwich. Therefore, it is a sandwich because the law is the law, and there's nothing you guys can argue against that. The United States government has already had a great debate about this all into themselves, and they have come to the decision that it is, in fact, a sandwich. And because what defines a sandwich? Does it have to be a piece of bread, its fillings, and then bread? Because as I said, that piece of bread there just kind of rips. If you were to get a burger bun that's slightly connected to the side there, you slip a burger in there without ripping and you eat that, is that not a sandwich anymore? If your bread, if you cut it all the way, but you don't make it all the way down to the bottom, and you make a ham sandwich, is that no longer a sandwich? Is that suddenly some other third thing that I'm not going to get into because he hasn't gone yet, even though I know he's going to say, and I'm not in the rebuttal part yet? Simply to state, it is a sandwich. It's a big, fluffy piece of bread with meat inside of it that is open on the side there that's barely held on by a hinge on the other side that rips as soon as you grab the fucking thing. I can't think about it in words anymore.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to start my side of the debate with saying that New York is not governmental law. You said that governmentals have debated on this. New York is not a government, by the way. They're a city. And I don't trust New York. They have rats running for presidents.
It's a state.
I'd like to say that to start. Secondary, no. What am I arguing? Hot dogs are definitely a taco. You made this argument that if you don't cut a bread slice fully down, yeah, it's all about intent. A hot dog is not ever supposed to be cut in half. If you break a hot dog bun in half, it ruins the hot dog. You think you're sad. You're like, God damn it, I just ruined my hot dog because the other side is falling out. It's a taco. It's a breaded thing that has meat and sauces and lettuce and cheese in the top. Tacos are honestly the basis of most foods. You can think of a taco bowl or like a salad or anything like that. Anything is more of a taco than it ever is a sandwich. Burgers, I would even classify more a taco because they're not a sandwich. Just because you put two pieces of bread doesn't classify something as a sandwich. I don't think there are sandwiches. I'd like to start with that basis. Sandwiches are fake. Fake news. Sandwiches are bullshit, and I don't agree with sandwiches. Tacos are real because I would like to support Mexicans. I have a good point for that. But I love tacos, to be honest. I love the legal immigrants in this country. They do us so much good. They brought amazing things like tacos to our country. And I think hot dog does count. That's why Costco serves them. Costco's an American brand and they know it's American. And tacos are incredibly American, which is why we have Taco Bell. I'd like to secede.
You don't, because it's done.
Yeah.
Before we continue with debate, we are playing characters right now. I would like to clarify that. If anyone's watching, just listen to Ethan Brandt. We are currently playing characters.
I'm wearing a red tie. I'm pretending to be a Republican.
I'm not pretending to be Jesus.
He's actually Jesus.
He actually believes he's Jesus. I would like to point out that he claimed that sandwiches aren't real when they are defined in law. What makes a sandwich a sandwich? I mean, you guys remember that Subway doesn't make sandwiches. They make cakes with meat inside of them because that is what the law has decided.
What is a Subway sandwich other than a...
talking.
No, than a hot dog.
There are legal definitions what makes a sandwich a sandwich. There is no legal definition for what makes a taco a taco. You didn't give any example. You didn't even make up one of your own. You said that sandwiches don't exist, but you gave no example of what a taco is. Because I'm actually going to make research and rebuttal. Tacos are sandwiches. Tacos don't exist. Taco is a word for a specific kind of sandwich. There are kinds of sandwiches. You have sub sandwiches. You have, I can't think of any more. There are different kinds of sandwiches. Grilled cheeses are sandwiches. Those are not sub sandwiches. Also, yeah, a great example of sub sandwiches. You don't cut all the way through of a sub sandwich. You cut it partially.
You just said they're not classified as sandwiches, though.
No, sub sandwiches are sandwiches. Subway is not.
Subway.
You get a rebuttal.
Subway sandwiches, as you said, are not sandwiches. They're tacos, okay? And taco is anything that is in a kind of V-shaped formation with, again, you said I didn't say this, but I said this. A taco is anything that has like bread, meat, cheese and lettuce and sauces in it. That is basic taco knowledge. Also, yeah, sandwiches don't exist. They really don't. Because anything that you can make a sandwich, you can make it into something else, and it's the same ingredients. A sandwich list is literally, if you're just classifying with it of how it's made, that's dumb. If we argue this, then we could also say that what is that, like beef Wellington is a corn dog. You could make that argument because of the way that it's structured. It's not the way that it's structured. The fact is that a taco is a work of art. Okay? It is the basis of everything we eat. Name one food for me. He couldn't name one. My opponent can't
Sandwiches
name anything.
exist, tacos don't.
The time was
I
already
really
up.
lost the plot there. The beef Wellington is not a corn dog. The corn dogs are fried and battered. A beef Wellington is wrapped, and there's more than just fucking meat.
So I think I have to agree with Ethan just because of bringing up that New York is not the government was a pretty good point. Also, I feel like Caleb was ending up just echoing because first Ethan said that tacos exist and sandwiches don't exist, and then Caleb went on to just repeat and say no, tacos don't exist. That's just repeating the other argument. So I feel like that gives a negative point there, and then the anti-New York was a pro for Ethan, which is why I would say I'm going to give my vote for Ethan.
I've got to vote for Caleb because they are right that fucking there is a law about. Wait, who said there was a law about sandwiches?
No, but
Yeah, there's a law about sandwiches. Ethan,
well, no. But it's only in New York. It was only in New York,
Only in New York.
and New York is not the government.
No, there have been other places.
We also called New York City, it's the state of New York.
It's happened other
It's
places.
both. It's both a city and a state, and neither are trustworthy. That's a joke.
There was somewhere else that argued this because there was a fucking Mexican restaurant trying to move in.
Look at the fourth board. Who do you want to win?
I have to go first in every single debate. Of course, it's
How many
it's
more
not-
Caleb?
I can't get any more points after
There's
this.
2 more Caleb debates. Yeah, there's yeah. Sorry,
I feel like this is a little unfair.
I'm going with-
First every single time.
I will go with Caleb. I'm sorry, but you're right, and you're arguing about what sandwich anarchy. Like you can take the parts of a car and make them into a fucking statue. That doesn't mean a car is not a car.
It means
I don't think
it's
this is-
statue. That didn't help your
No, Matthew,
You said you can take the pieces of a sandwich and make them into anything else, and then a sandwich isn't real. It's still a sandwich.
All right.
You can take the atoms in a fucking in you and
Well-
make them into a piece of shit.
All right,
Well-
all right.
You're
So,
surreal.
have we come to conclusion? Is this a split
it's
vote?
a split
Yes.
vote, half a point,
Okay.
which means you get a full point.
Yeah, do it in green. Do it in green.
No.
That way we know that it was like.
No, the half point was.
No,
I
Ethan
already
gets a
had
half.
a half point.
I know, but do it in green because then it shows that he got
Wait, we
two
need a
halves.
half point on Ethan's.
I'll do a half point on Ethan's, but do this in green to show that
You're
What
now
am I
smart.
arguing?
Okay, it's good.
Free Luigi.
It's on.
Okay.
it's on there.
All right, can I have a mic, please? Because I'm still up. Who's next?
You got. You both.
Okay, I'm gonna be so happy when this is over.
This was your idea.
Oh no, this is very fun, and I'm having fun with this. But God, I'm in a gauntlet right now. I didn't know we were doing this gauntlet style.
This was Ethan's decision for the sake of the microphones.
All right, so
I'm going first according to the thing
all right,
that
you're-
we're definitely improving on.
you're-
This is someone else's.
you're
It-
going first,
this is-
Giles. So can you tell me, should we free Luigi?
Is that mine or is that yours? I think
Sorry,
I might
drinks
have
take
set mine.
priority to this debate.
Yeah.
Giles, should we free Luigi?
Free Luigi is the question, and the answer is no. Super Luigi Brothers U deserved to be $15. It was a worthy expansion pack to New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii U, and everyone acting like it should have been free was missing the added difficulty, the increased complexity of the level design, and just overall how fun it was. Also, Luigi is just a clearly better character than Mario.
Ethan, can you unlock the phone?
Oh,
There's
we didn't set a timer apparently.
No.
So I'm just going to keep going until I'm stopped. But Luigi's New Super Luigi Brothers U was also clearly one of the best 2D Mario platformers, and honestly, the best one until Super Mario Brothers Wonder. The fact that people thought that, oh, it's a DLC where they've only changed out the character and made the levels harder, should have been for free, was missing the point that it was actually completely new levels. While yes, they didn't change the world's design, they don't need to do that when they have themselves updated the levels and made it such a new skill set required. I'm going to cede my time there because I think that I've probably been going for more than 2 minutes.
So Luigi should be free. I think he absolutely should be free because I believe everything should be free. I think we should move away from this labor capitalism-based economy. I think that we should all get universal income and that no one needs to work to survive. And then we can all work on our passions. We all know that even if Nintendo stopped working on Luigi, someone else would. Someone has that passion. And that everything should be free and that no one should be having to work for their to survive. And then we just have a collective system where people can own the means of production and work on what they really want to work on. And in that system, nothing would cost anything, and Luigi would be free. Do you say that there's a lot of work put into it? And I agree. I agree there's a lot of work put into that. And I think those people should be paid as much as they can be paid. I just don't think that their ability to survive should be tied to the system of capitalism where they're the ones not getting paid. It's the people who own the IP of Luigi who are making the money. Tear down the system and change it. All things should be free.
Well, I'm going to have to say that, while yes, the ideals I certainly agree with, you're missing the point that that is not the reality we live in. The truth is all you'd be doing is making the people who spent time and effort making this new Luigi Brothers U would not make any bonus from it. They would not go into the funding of getting another one, because all it would be doing is making that free and not actually affecting the system. You're only changing one part of it and blaming one set of people for the system. And that is not effective or useful or anything at all. It is just nonsense bullshit. It's the same thing with people who complain about, oh, well, if you're a socialist, you can't have a house. That's not what we're complaining about. We're complaining about landlords. We're not complaining that Mario shouldn't have a DLC that's paid starring Luigi, who is the best character, who I love Luigi. Luigi, as much as I wish, yes, in an ideal world, Luigi should be free. But that isn't the world we live in. We have to accept that fact. Luigi is amazing and worth every penny.
So you even admit yourself, Luigi should be free because that's the world. That is the ideal world we're moving to. But every time we start to make these changes towards this ideal world, people go, not with that. We shouldn't start there. We should start other places. And it's just an entire thing of not in my backyard, moving the goal around and nothing. We need to start somewhere. And I think we start with Luigi. Luigi must be free. Just imagine a free Luigi everywhere you go. Free Luigi. All Luigi games free. The amount of access that opens up to more people to be inspired by the great story of Luigi. Think of all of the poor folks that aren't able to pay the amount of money. You're depriving them of the art, of the sophistication that is Luigi, simply because of this price point. We have to start somewhere. If we want the world to be a way, we need to make our steps to get to that world. And we start with Luigi.
Okay, before you guys get off the podium, I'd like to ask a follow-up question.
Oh, yes.
You just need to answer. Should Luigi's Mansion be free? And if Luigi's Mansion should be free, should it be the GameCube version or the remastered version?
Giles, I'll let you go first because you went much before.
Well, I think for either, especially for the high quality put into the remaster, it shouldn't be free because we're again devaluing all of the time and effort put into people. This is not. That's moving. This is Luigi should not be the one to make that first step because it couldn't sustain itself if it made that first step of being free. It needs to be.
Sorry, wouldn't it be better that Luigi be free rather than Mario be free? If you had to pick one, and you say that there has to be a starting point somewhere, you obviously agree with the sentiment.
I am the one with starting somewhere that someone needs to be free, and I think it should be Luigi. He is the second brother, yet he jumps taller. Mario's called Jumpman, yet Luigi is the better jumper. He is better in all regards, yet he's shoved into the shadow. And if anyone else is going to take that first step into bringing us into a greater world, it should be Luigi.
Of the two, you're asking me whether Mario or Luigi, if there's two of them, if one of them should be free. I'm just going to ignore that outright because I feel like any answer is seceding to Caleb's positioning, and I can't do that for the sake of being a good argumenter. And so I'm going to reject the premise of this extra question because it stands against my own premise, and I would rather not admit against something that I've stated I am against. So I do appreciate the question, but for my own self-preservation, and also because it's my own belief as well, I'm going to refuse the question.
But to your own belief, you stated that that is the ideal world we want to live in, where things are free, where children are not...
This isn't a question of ideals. This is a question of reality.
But someone needs to take that first step into
This game
the better
came out
future.
10 years ago.
And yes, 10 years ago, it should be free.
It's not. I don't think you can buy it anymore. The Wii U drops down.
Also, we're not talking about a specific game. We're talking about Luigi as an idea. And he should be free. Copyright laws have gone too
Your
far.
time has been up. You're adding extra points.
Okay.
You're adding extra points.
Come on up.
Giles is
Sorry.
No, Giles still gets his rebuttal. He hasn't gotten his 1 minute rebuttal yet.
Jesus Christ.
No.
We can submit. We can...
I did get my.
We're gonna be here all fucking night if we don't fucking get this shit.
Yeah, it's 8. We're fine. We're good on time.
The mics you said have 3 hours. We have an hour and a half left. We have 15 questions to go.
debate then.
Giles!
Yeah, I say Giles as well.
I hate both of you. How will we get to a better future if you won't let Luigi be free?
He made a good argument, goddammit.
Yeah, quality work should be supported.
Yes, it should be, but it should be tied to the entire systems that we base our government around.
Okay, so the next question is mandatory voting, me and Caleb.
I would have really liked to have had some breaks during this gauntlet.
You're gonna have a very long break after this.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
This is your last
I think this is my last one.
Yes.
Yeah. this-
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go first on this one because I let Giles go first on the previous one.
Again, yeah. Do you want to start the time?
Of course, mandatory voting should be enforced. It is an American's duty to vote for the leaders of our country, not just federal, but even local elections. You should have a specific day where you get the day off work, everything shuts down, you go there and you vote. You can mail in, fuck it, online. If we can get the system verified enough that it can be secured, I don't think we're currently there. We have mail-in voting for federal and local elections. It should be required that you get that done, just like your taxes. We have stuff that people have to get done. Voting should be one of those things. It is your duty as an American. There's a lot of voting stuff that happens where the amount of people who don't vote is a very high percentage that I can't name off the top of my head, but I know it's high. And if we made it, there are other countries. I believe it's New Zealand, but I could very well be wrong on that because we're apparently not fact-checking this debate, that allow people... Australia that require mail-in voting, require you to vote. It is something that is capable of doing. If we want democracy to be done correctly, we need to make sure that every single voice is being heard. It is a requirement for democracy to do what it is supposed to do. And the fact that we keep going, and the more years that go by, less and less people seem to be voting, making it a requirement would also be able to, like with jury time, you get the time off work to get it done. If you need to actually go in and research the sources so you know who you're voting for and you know what they stand for. Make a national holiday of another day off work. We all love that. Just in order for our system to function, we have to have everyone's voice heard. We also have many systems in place where it's making it harder for people to vote. People of color especially are having systems put in place trying very hard to limit their access to voting, and we made it so every single person had to vote. It would be unethical, or not, well, it's already unethical. It would be impossible to make it so they can't vote because we're putting systems in place to make sure they can.
Okay. You can start it immediately. Okay, so I absolutely agree that we should have systems in place where people are given the opportunity to vote, like days off, whatever. But the required to vote means that there must be a punishment in order that they are, if they don't vote. If something is required, if they don't do it, there has to be a punishment to enforce the requirement of it. And that's going to immediately backfire in the ways that you specifically said. This is going to backfire on people of color. The systems that we've built already in place make it hard for them to vote. And when they don't vote, they're just going to be penalized for not being able to. They're going to be penalized for the systems that are already have been built. That means that they can't vote. And also, people sometimes use not voting as a political stance of saying, like, I don't agree with the options that are given. We live in a two-party system where people are given, you have to pick this side that wants to kill people or this one that's apathetic to killing people. And if we're giving them that, then, like, I would also not want to vote. I don't think that making people vote is the right option. I think there are better systems in place to encourage voting, and requiring people to vote is only a punishment on those that don't vote. where that's just ridiculous. What would you do if like a grandfather had dementia and they don't have the ability or cognitive function to vote anymore? Now they're getting penalized, now they're getting a tax, or they're getting like a fine because they can't do this. This is ridiculous. The requirement is only a requirement because they're going to get punished, and we're adding another thing in our system that punishes people because they don't or can't or don't want to do this thing. Requiring it only is an ideal. Yeah, Australia can do it, but that's a country full of criminals.
It's a country full of cunts.
Exactly. My point stands. It's a country full of people that don't have anything better to do. And so, yeah. I'll secede that 1 second.
All right, so here's the thing we have to put on here. We are the ones able to decide the punishment. I think the punishment be that someone shows up, brings you, not the cops, someone else shows up and brings you to a voting booth and puts you in there, and like you can't leave until you fill it out. I also think that voting for no one should be an option on there for those that want to choose to not vote for anyone. We just want to make sure their voices are actually heard. I want to be able to go on there, look at the polls, and see not only is there Republican, there's Democrat, but there's I chose not to vote because you all are all assholes. I want to be able to gather this information so that we can see what's going on. I don't think that people should be financially punished for not voting. I think the punishment should be that we make sure that their voices are heard. We're the ones making this law able to decide this. We're the government here. That's what we're debating. And I think that making sure that everyone's voices is heard is our responsibility. Whether that means that we have to bring someone out of their work to make sure they get it done.
I would like to say that my opponent's first argument was to kidnap people. I would like that to be on the record.
That's what prison is.
I would like to say that that was the first thing that they had to recommend. We grab people off the streets that haven't voted, who might be doing other things, and drag them into a voting booth. Secondary, you're saying that we should make people vote because of a good hypothetical future that you've envisioned where we have a no option on the ballot. We don't have that. Maybe you should vote for that first before we do the required voting and punish them, because there is no I don't want to vote option right now. They will have to vote. And they will have to vote for an option that they feel doesn't represent them. If there was a vote that represented them, they would go and vote. But you're dragging them in apparently a white van because
I don't believe in cops.
Yeah, you said you don't believe in cops. Who would be doing the dragging? Are you setting up a POC group that just grabs people off the street? That's not going to improve their image. Okay. Time to debate.
Well, Matthew, what do you think of that?
I think that Ethan's argument is inherently flawed because if we can't kidnap people off the streets and put them into vans, what can we do?
So I will disagree with Ethan's that you can't just vote for no party. The right exists. The right very, very much exists. Like, that's the amount of people who voted for, quote, Hawk Tua in this most recent election is way higher than I would have liked.
Are you questioning that I voted for Hawk Tua? The fuck did you just say?
I didn't say you did. I said that people did, and it was
Yeah.
too many.
Asses on camera, please.
I am on camera!
Why
You guys?
would Jesus, you guys want to see up my ass? Jesus is just taking a
Caleb, double
break to
check
drink
if
his
his nuts
water.
are visible. Were they?
I don't want to answer.
That sounds like a yes. Anyways,
My nuts are certainly visible, and if you look, you will see
I
them.
think, honestly, I think Ethan made a good point, but I do think Ethan then undid his own good point by saying that you can't vote for no one because of the fact that writing does exist.
Caleb
I
wins.
do think but also I think Caleb did a bad job of making an argument by saying, as Ethan pointed out, we're kidnap them off the streets and take them. I'm okay with this being another no point, Matthew, if you agree.
Caleb wins. If you're saying no point, I'm saying Caleb. He made a better argument.
Alright, I think that means I win.
Half point.
No, I think I win.
Fine, I'm voting for Ethan, half point.
Jesus Christ, contrarians up the fucking wazoo in this goddamn house.
No, we just make it a full. We make it a full point.
Like my arguments?
I thought your argument was
Your
fundamentally
argument's
flawed.
I wasn't able to eloquently put mine in, but I'm also
You're in.
not sober. Oh, I can't believe I'm time.
You're in?
That was fun. I enjoyed that. The gauntlet every single debate.
Yeah.
Aaron, we're not
Now
talking
it's
about
me
debates.
for the next 5 or 6. So.
7.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
did 11 back to back.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm doing
yeah.
7 now, so.
God.
All right.
I
So
don't think switching mics was a big
Turning
deal.
up the AC.
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, so wait, let's read the question.
Yes.
Does,
The question is. Oh, yep. You need to
I'll
unlock.
fix that while you get the can. Read the question. While I
So
do.
the question is: does turning up the AC make it hotter or colder? Specifically, colder. But yeah. All right. I'm gonna start the timer.
Yep.
Once it gets back over here.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm drunk. We get started just arguing.
We're very
Anyways,
yeah.
so the answer is hotter. Scientifically, hotter. We know this. Using energy does actually create heat. If you wanted a better heater, your better option would be to flip your AC unit around so the out unit would be going into your house, and that would be a better heater that has like almost pretty much net zero energy loss. It is a better thing to use an AC unit as a heater than a heater as a heater. So yes, an AC unit makes it hotter, not colder. The only question is really it. The only thing we're really arguing over here is what is the it in question, and since it doesn't specify house, I am going to say it meaning the overall temperature of the globe, which yes, it does actually make it hotter. It makes everything hotter by using this because we're using power, and that is also just adding to global warming. Politics! Anyways, I cede my time.
Oh, wow. Full minute seceded.
Jesus Christ, Ethan loses because he can't
Yeah, I
say
know.
seceded.
Shut up. Okay, I'll start my debate with saying that we really have to discuss what it means to say. Let's say that if you're asking someone, hey, turn up the AC, AC means air conditioning. You are turning up the amount of conditioning that is in the room. You are cooling it down. You are going through the process of making it cooler because someone is asking you to turn up the ability to cool the room. That is the fundamental question, because like you're asking someone, the question is asking someone, turn up the AC. It's hot in here. I need you to turn it down. That is the only like situation where you would turn it on. You don't have AC on when it's too cold out. You wouldn't be like, turn up the AC. It's freezing outside. You would say, turn up the AC. It's like 98 degrees in here. I need to be cooler. And so fundamentally, I think that's the question of what does this phrase mean? And the phrase is asking someone to make it cooler because it's too hot. And I'll also see the rest of my time.
All right. To quote the actual question, it's does turning, quote, up, I don't know what up is in quotes, the AC make it hotter or colder? And so really the only argument is the it. And I will argue that since it does not specify it, I am going to go once again with global temperature. While yes, it might individually make the room cooler, it is the effect of both the outside of your house, your neighborhood. If we're going to go to the power plants that are burning this coal to make it, it is making everything else. And so the net average of literally the entire planet is that it's getting hotter. While yes, it might feel really nice in that room of yours there, it is not making it cooler. It is making everything else hotter. I cede the 15 seconds.
Okay. To start, there is a reason why the turn it up is in quotations rather than the it.
The up was in questions.
Yeah, the up is in questions because turning it up was the question, not what it is. We could talk about
Quotations.
global warming, whatever.
Quotations.
That's
Opposite question.
we can debate whether or not global warming is real. Okay, that's a separate question. What turning up the AC is in question is turning
Quotation.
up the air conditioning of the environment. And if I'm turning up the AC, I would like it to be cooler. Up means cooling it down, because the whole thing around this question is the semantics of whether or not turning something up is actually raising the temperature, cooling it. But in the context of this question and the phrase as it is spoken, you are turning up the air conditioning, which is cooling down the room that it is in. It doesn't matter if you're heating up the outside, because let's say it doesn't matter if one person turns up the air conditioning. Sure, we could talk about 100 million or something, but like that's not the question. I'm asking you to turn up the air conditioning, and that makes it cooler.
Time. Well, y'all.
What's your opinion?
Jesus, can you come to the table with me, please? I would like to have a talk with you.
And please don't throw your balls.
Please don't.
God
All right,
damn it.
Jesus. So really, what the
Father,
question,
damn it.
Jesus, what this really came down to was a debate between what it is referring to. Is it referring to the AC if you're turning the AC up, or is it returning to the global temperature? And I want to know, do you believe in global warming?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
I asked that question. Jesus, do you believe in global warming?
Maybe.
That really doesn't.
I haven't been swayed yet either way.
All right. So, well,
my
that's
balls,
not what the
my
debate
balls
is.
are somewhat sweaty.
All right. All right.
So perhaps
as you, as Jesus Christ, as an entity above all, if I were to ask you, turn up the AC, what am I turning? I'm asking you to turn up the global temperature of the Earth by using AC to draw extra
I'm
power.
going with Ethan because Jaws made a good point, but Ethan's argument about is global warming real got me to start questioning. So I'm going with Ethan.
Here's the thing. I also have to go with Ethan. Ethan's argument was the correct thing. If turning it is clearly referring to the AC, and you were increasing the cooling temperature of the AC.
I'd like to
My
say
son,
Jesus
that's
is endorsing the Republican candidate here. So
Well, he did win. Is Jesus a Republican?
yeah, that's true.
No, it was a no vote.
That was neither.
It was a no.
What's the next question?
Whose is this? Green apple. It's me and you again. Best cheese. You gotta go first this time.
Ooh, best cheese. I didn't think I'd be going first. I honestly, for most of these, I didn't assume I'd be going first.
Well,
what is it? Parmesan. Parmesan is the best cheese. We can start this off. There's a reason why Olive Garden only does Parmesan with those little like miniature like waiter things, because they know it's the best cheese. Also, it's like good on anything. You can eat it on pasta. You can eat it on lasagna. It is the Italian staple, and there's nothing that really adds such a like aroma to a dish. There's so few cheeses that one aren't boring. Like you could say cheddar. You could make the argument for cheddar, but that's a boring cheese. Also, there's like no basis for anything that is good or not good. The only thing that is good is Parmesan. Can you tell I'm really drunk? Parmesan is still the best cheese because, you know, if you get a salad, you can put Parmesan in that as well. Also, Parmesan comes in so many different like things. You can get it so that like you have the Parmesan wheel and they heat it up and then they scrape it onto your like pasta, or you can get it in like the like shredded where you put it on like top of dishes, or you can even get it the dusted format. There's so many ways that we've carried Parmesan forward because Parmesan really deserves to be on anything. It's not the fact that Parmesan doesn't need to go on anything, it's that it can go on anything. And that's really the pro of Parmesan, is that there's just nothing that can rival its unilateral versatility. And I'll cede the rest of the 25 seconds I have.
All right. So the argument I heard was that Parmesan was the most average cheese, that it is on average good on all of these things, but not that it was the best cheese. The best cheese is Old Amsterdam dry-aged Gouda. It is the right level of, it is close to a Parmesan that's somewhat of a hard cheese, but it is soft enough. It will melt nicely on anything. And you could also just eat it by a chunk. You could just eat the entire rind of it if you wanted. It is that good of a cheese because it has a depth of flavor that is, while similar to a Parmesan with that saltiness, but it also has more depth than just the salty sourness of Parmesan. There is some depth to it. You could also, with Gouda, have it smoked. It's even in the name, which, if you're Dutch, it's shoud, apparently, according to my Dutch roommate who I used to live with. How's it going, bud? And, like, the Dutch, they know cheese more than any other place, clearly, because they made Gouda, and I trust them on that, because dry-aged Gouda is the best cheese. It's good enough that when I was given a gift card to Trader Joe's, that's the only cheese I bought from them. Parm you can get anywhere, but you need to go to a special place to get a good dry-aged Gouda. And smoked Gouda as well, like, you get that nice meaty flavor, even if you don't like meat. It's like, hits the right notes, and it, again, there's a softness to it that is not found in there. Oh, it maybe doesn't go with every single type of, like, other food type, but that's not what makes it the best cheese. The thing that makes it the best cheese is how it is in itself, and that cheese is morally and socially and ethically just correct. And if I could marry it, I would.
Cheese marriage has not been legalized in the U.S.
I
We
would
can
like
fix
to
that.
start with just complimenting the bravery of my opponent here by saying a cheese that no one fucking knows. That's how best
Self-report,
it is.
self-report, self-report. Self-report,
Someone's in the
self-report.
background going, no.
That's the fucking dumbest argument. Make a good argument, idiot.
Okay, that's fair.
He's an idiot.
Self-report, self-report, self-report.
Yours is better. Make a better
You say that Gouda is the best because it's top tier cheese, but I don't think that is. Having one thing that is really good does not make it the best. Having something best means that it can hit the most categories in the highest marks. Gouda might hit really well in one or two, especially with the Dutch apparently, but it doesn't really hit any of the remarks of anyone else that has ever invented cheese. Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay. Like I'd like to say that like cheese is such a like simple thing that everyone loves.
Stop.
And Parm is better.
So first of all, quite a self-report by saying that Gouda, I've never even heard of that. And then also, I don't remember the other shit you said, but like, that's just because it was such a bad argument that I don't remember it, because it was so in one ear and out the other. Parm is a good cheese. I will not deny that. But you're attempting just to besmirch Gouda because you've never tried it, clearly. And also, you're just stating that it is the most average cheese. And it is a pretty average cheese. Hello, Caleb. It is good on everything, but it is great on very, very few things to nothing. Gouda is a
Did you
great
say
cheese.
nothing?
Yes, Gouda is a great cheese. It is a cheese that is, if you just, all it needs to be on is a slice of a baguette, and then you just toast it for a bit, and that alone is going to be some of the best bread and cheese you have ever had. That is a dish better than a Michelin star restaurant.
You just said that Gouda couldn't be good. Yeah,
What?
you
I
said-
didn't say that.
You
I
said
said
it
Gouda's.
couldn't be good unless there was bread with it.
No, I was giving an example of how simple it could be.
Yeah, I know. I'm undercutting your argument.
Yes, during my time. During
I-
my time.
As a Republican, I have to do it.
Yeah, weirdly enough, not respecting people's time seems to be a running theme with every single person except for me and Giles.
Matthew.
I'm about to taste some Parmesan popcorn. What the fuck? You
No, that's cheating. You can't taste the Parmesan
No,
popcorn
yeah.
yet.
It's a
Are
bias.
you
It's a bias. It's a bias.
Do you-
bias.
you-
I look like a
just
fucking
get out of the
middle-aged
chair,
white
put it,
man
Matthew.
right now.
Matthew,
You
sit
son of a bitch!
You'll
I'll kill you! Jesus will kill you!
Hey, if you're gonna kill each other, can we at least do it on camera for the people's entertainment?
Can we do the bait? The back?
Get your goddamn
Matthew is currently fighting Giles for a bag of popcorn that's Parmesan flavored.
goddamn popcorn.
Matthew is refusing to.
I didn't.
Debate.
Ethan has started to eat the popcorn.
Giles loses because he has to obviously fight a man to taste the Parmesan popcorn.
All right, as soon as can you please join me at the table so we can have this?
Jesus Christ, Giles wants to fucking attack Jesus himself before he
All
has
right,
his-
well he's just trying to avoid bias on whether or not Parmesan is better
It's
than
about
Gouda.
the debate. It's about the argument and not
How
whatever
you-
thing you have in front of you.
So here's the thing that I want to discuss with you, Matthew. Do I have your attention?
Yes, you do.
All right, both of you shut the fuck up. So Giles's debate
Objection!
was that Gouda is a good cheese on its own, and that all it needs is to be on a cracker. Well, I do feel that a great thing about cheese, not necessarily the best thing about cheese, but a great thing about cheese is a great support to whatever you're eating. I'll be honest, it'd be hard for me to name a dish that wouldn't be improved by cheese. And so I feel like a great cheese is one that would be supported, that it supports the most of the variety of dishes. And Gouda is a cheese that really does want to be just by itself. However, I would be remiss if I did not point out that Gouda is a Gouda cheese.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think Giles' whole argument is like building a fucking skyscraper on top of stilts. It is falling over when you poke at it. Also, the fact that he had to attack me before I could try this, implying that me trying this automatically favors the other side, is automatically a point away. Because just because I try the Parmesan doesn't mean I won't say,
That was
oh,
after the debate. The only thing that matters is during the debate.
Well, too bad we're the judges.
Yep.
yeah,
So,
I'm the
here's
judge.
the thing.
And
So
physical
what
violence on
are you
cheese-
saying on principle you can't vote for Giles because he attacked you?
Yeah.
I have to say on principle I have to give it to Giles because of the Gouda pun. Therefore, this is a
You
split
made
vote.
the pun.
Yeah, you made the guy.
Exactly. I made the pun. Therefore, I support
I'll
the
give the
point.
half point to you. I'll give you a half point.
Now,
You give me. Sorry, hold on. You're giving me a half
I'm
point.
giving him a half point and Giles nothing.
I'll take that.
What?
Giles gets nothing,
Wait,
and I get half a point
wait, how are you getting a point?
Because of the pun.
because I'm the one who made the pun.
And I got a half a point,
I
right?
didn't attack
Oh,
you.
right.
I was
You get half a
You
point.
pushed me. You saved your
Giles,
fucking
I'm
nails into
so
my wrist.
sorry. Is this incredibly unfair to you? Yes.
No.
But are we the judges?
Yeah.
Also, yes.
Yeah.
Here you are.
It's
You want to see my balls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it on
I'll
camera?
show them to you after the show.
Was it really on
I
camera?
don't know.
Written the balls. You should probably put on underwear in case we actually did
Yeah,
show
are-
balls.
Are you seriously not wearing any underwear?
No.
Okay.
Wait,
You said I'm.
you would?
Can I sit on that side, Matthew? I prefer that side.
You should probably put on underwear in case we accidentally did show ball. We did show ball, guys. It's good. We're fine.
Okay, what
Who said
question
that?
are we doing?
Are our commenters telling us we're not steering balls?
It is...
9/11-3.
Ooh.
Whoever Rachel was, they're not.
I'll let you go first. What building should be hit in 9/11-3?
Don't take my phone. I'm hungry.
Yep, you
3
get,
buildings.
You get 3 buildings.
9/11-2.
Well, there was 4. Well, wait. What were the 3 buildings in 9/11-1?
The Pentagon and both the World Towers.
Hmm.
And the White House, actually. One was the White House.
Well,
It
there's
missed, though. It didn't hit.
Yeah, I know, but those were the 3 that I
You're
was
right,
targeting.
you're
The
right.
one for Disneyland. That one also didn't get it.
I don't have proof.
Also, I need to clarify for our watching audience. This is hypothetical.
For the
Is in
sake of
Minecraft.
preparation.
In
on behalf of the
Minecraft.
government, that is.
Yes, I would never condone
If I were to
violence.
commit 9/11-2 in my Minecraft world, Which is-
This is for preparation on behalf of the government. That's why we're saying this.
if the United States government in my Minecraft recreation of the United States were to do a 9/11-2,
Wait,
they
that's
would-
different.
they would obviously hit the White House because they fucking missed it the first time. Oh God, what are other 2 buildings?
Is the timer going?
No.
The White
This one might take a little bit longer, though. Pick
the
3
White
buildings.
House. Okay, what did the World Trade Center represent? American decadence. They would probably try to hit Disney World. Actually, I want to go out on a limb and say that Disney isn't relevant to terrorists and that they're going to hit Universal Orlando, the Harry Potter world specifically. Harry Potter world, the White House, and the Eiffel Tower. And that's my argument.
You have another minute. Why the Eiffel Tower?
Because they
You need to keep this.
because the US
Clip it on.
Jesus Christ, I've got a strap on at all times. Because the White House is the most symbol of America and you can't beat the Twin Towers. So they are going to subvert expectations. Think about how the sequel has to subvert expectations. The Eiffel Tower is.
So the Eiffel Tower, not the Statue of Liberty,
No.
the Eiffel Tower in France. That's going to be the U.S.'s next 9/11.
Well, think about it. They're never going to see it coming.
Okay, that's fair. Do you guys have any other questions? I'm going to pause this. Did you listen to the 3 that he gave?
What were the 3 buildings?
The
Yeah.
White House, Universal Orlando, and the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you have any questions?
No, you go first. You go your 3, then we'll.
So here's the thing. I do have some questions.
The fuck was that?
I don't
It
know.
was the keyboard. It's fine.
So Matthew, I have a question for you.
I'm an answer for you.
Why is 9/11 included in the 9/11-2?
What?
Why is the Eiffel Tower included in 9/11-2?
Yeah, but you said, why is 9/11 included in 9/11-2?
Why is Why is the Eiffel Tower included in 9/11-2?
I think he has a point. And I think we should let Ethan do his question.
All right, well, let Ethan continue, but I want to circle back to this. I really want to
I
hear.
will answer that.
to give you time to ask questions.
Too fucking bad. We're the judges. I have the power now, bitch.
No, I know. I want to give you the power because honestly, that answer makes no sense to me.
No, it makes sense.
Well, let's
Start the
just.
timer.
I didn't give him a timer.
Just fucking talk. You're not gonna.
I know. Okay, so if a 9/11 was to happen again, the most sensical places for it to hit would be the Smithsonian. The White House, again, I'm going to agree with that. The White House does deserve to get hit again in Minecraft. And thirdly-
in the fictional world, if are both 9/11/2s happening at the same time?
Thirdly,
One thing hits the White House, another one hits.
yeah, kind of. And
ISIS and Al Qaeda.
I'm gonna pick one that goes very closely to him. I feel that the Statue of Liberty would be more well-deserved hit than the Eiffel Tower, because if it's gonna hit something that one also hurts the France but also is meaningful to Americans, Americans won't care about the Eiffel Tower being hit, but they'll care about the Statue of Liberty getting hit. And it should get hit because, you know, it was a thing of, like, blocking people trying to become American citizens. It doesn't deserve to be there. America has never stood for liberty, and so it deserves to get hit. The Smithsonian deserves to get hit because it is basically our British museum, a historical monument of all the shit that we've stolen and the bullshit that we've accumulated and deny the historical facts of. And the White House, because fuck Trump. Allegedly. In Minecraft.
Except they're Republican.
Yeah.
He's a never Trumper.
Oh, you're done.
No, I still have 31 seconds. But yeah, I think that the Statue of Liberty is better a 9/11 than the Eiffel Tower. Because again, it's not in America, so we won't care. You know, the France will like throw up a bunch of lights where the Eiffel Tower was, because, you know, they used to throw it up where the Eiffel Tower was, but it's not there anymore.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Whenever a tragedy goes down in France, they throw up lights on the Eiffel Tower. That is a guarantee. I've seen that. They did it at the Olympic bombing or something like that. But I'll end my time there.
All right, I can't even begin to argue how dumb this was, because you already have forgotten the question. The question is not, should buildings be bombed by a foreign government or entity? It's on behalf of the U.S. government. If the U.S. government wants to start another war in Iraq for oil, who do they want to join them to help them fight that war? The French, who didn't join them last time. The French! What's going to piss off the French? Take down the Eiffel Tower. Also, Universal Studios Orlando, that would piss off a bunch of Americans. And the White House, obviously, because everybody loves Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I need to argue this. You missed the question. You're talking about it like Al Qaeda did 9/11 when it was obviously George Bush.
Okay. You still have
In Minecraft.
16 seconds.
I will show them my balls in 5 seconds. Go ahead, Tom.
Please don't.
I will say that 9/11 was only a truly significant event because it happened to the United States. We are an imperialist force. It's something that stands as a sentiment of the world view. Something can hit the Eiffel Tower, but honestly, yeah, that would prompt Europe to respond, but it wouldn't prompt the US. We obviously have a government that doesn't respect the European nations, so we need something that if it was to hit the matter to our government on behalf of the government, it would have to be something that's in the US. And honestly, Orlando Studios is such a capitalist machine of media that they don't care about it. It's not like it's Disney. It's not like it's Hollywood. It's just some random amusement park. How many times have people shot up theaters and they didn't give a shit about it? Okay, they don't care about these random museums of content. You know, they care about the Smithsonian, where they where they actually hold things that have historical relevance.
Again, the U.S. government. The U.S. government is not going to destroy their own shit. And if you're saying that Europe isn't as imperialist as the U.S., you're fucking head up your ass. You don't tell me that. You can't shut me up. You're trying to stick your fingers in my mouth.
That's not my kind of thing.
He pom-pommed the microphone.
What?
He pom-pommed the microphone.
How does it go back on?
It just clicks in, so you just have to press it and then rotate it in a weird angle. So you have to kind of clear it and then just twist it on.
Perfect. Okay, sorry about that bad noise.
Can I go first on this, please?
Yeah.
So there are some good points made here.
Yeah.
I have some personal bias that I have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the U.S. government, because the whole question here is whether or not the U.S. government is going to be preemptively protecting these things. I don't want the U.S. government to be preemptively protecting the Eiffel Tower. So I have a little problem initializing that.
Yeah.
The problem on the other side, though, is that they think they're going to go for Smithsonian, that is essentially our version of the British Museum, where you have a bunch of stolen artifacts from around the world. Not nearly as bad as the British Museum, but it's our version of it. However, I don't think terrorists are going to go for it, because in order to drive a plane into it and destroy it, you're destroying those cultural artifacts that they hold dear, because they're attacking it because, I'm assuming, because they have those cultural artifacts inside of there. So I don't think they would want to drive a plane into it. They want to take down the government so they can get those artifacts back.
So I'm currently leaning towards Matthew because, as he mentioned, last time the French didn't enjoy us, and that's why I no longer call them French fries, but I refer to them as freedom fries because of that.
That's very fair. At Ethan brought a point, instead of attacking the Eiffel Tower, he attacked the Statue of Liberty because it's stopping people from joining our country. Like, it is not truly representative.
Ellis Island was, I guess, the idea behind it, but also, like, I don't think the French care about the Eiffel Tower or the
They're the ones who gave it to us.
Yeah, they don't care about the Statue of Liberty. They like the Eiffel Tower. I also think that less people would give a shit about, I think less Americans would care about the Smithsonian getting hit than they would about Orlando, Florida. Because Floridians would care so much. Floridians are angry constantly. I think, to my surprise, I have to give it to Matt.
Here's the thing. I really don't want to agree with Matthew because of the whole Eiffel Tower thing. But at the end of the day,
I think he was right.
I think he was right.
Yeah.
I have to give the point to Matthew.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I really didn't want to.
I don't know where that is.
You don't like the France and girls in the US fucking
Oh, no.
I do. I just don't think America cares much about her.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't give a shit about France.
It's not about that.
Most Americans would
You too
celebrate.
again.
Americans are going to get pissed off because of the White House in fucking Orlando. In Orlando.
So what are we talking about? Do you have to wash?
Where did this second bag come?
Oh, this is actually a real question, Matthew. So this question, Matthew, is it better? One second, we have to explain the question.
Yeah, explain the question. I want my one.
Okay.
Continue.
So, Matthew, is it better to be individually right in a scenario, or is it better to fail to serve the common good, to be a fall man so that the common good is served?
What do you need?
I was looking for my prop, but it obviously disappeared.
The Bible?
No. I have another prop. It's on the chair. I had another prop.
So, Matthew, I'll let you go first. What do you think is better, to serve the common good or to fall?
Not the prop I was looking for. I don't want that either.
To be individually right.
I think to serve the common good. I am
the
Jesus,
common
and
good.
I say we serve the common good. Jesus.
Okay.
Like, you serve the common good.
Actually, we'll wait for Giles to get back so you can argue, but think of your argument. So you
I have
said-
my argument. We serve the common good. I mean, there's no question in my Jesus mind that we serve the common good.
Where did his wife last?
There we go. I have found it. It's over here. I have a point to why we should serve. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm arguing individual. I don't know why I'm arguing for the common good. I'm Jesus, not fucking goddamn communist Jesus. So we serve the individual. Sorry, how could I argue that we serve the common good? That's disgusting. Jesus would never think about the common good. He thinks about himself and his followers. That's not common. Christians have been persecuted for years, and yeah. I cede the question.
No, you can just keep thinking about it.
No, I
Giles
cede
has
it.
come
Go
back.
ahead.
Giles is back. You guys can argue.
You can start arguing about why we should
I'll
serve the common good.
start why we should serve the common good. Okay. So there's an idea. No,
Just let him talk.
Fine.
I won't try and go too long. But come on. Okay. So there absolutely is an argument for serving the individual, but the biggest thing about serving the common good in this scenario,
In this scenario, yeah.
yeah, I said the title. Okay. In this scenario, there's a reason why you should serve the common good, because we're all a part of a community. There's never a situation. Yeah, I know, I keep wanting to say it. There's never an opportunity where serving the common good is actually a bad thing. You can throw yourself under the bus, but as long as like the greater good is served, it truly is the biggest accomplishment that you can have. I think you should do things so that the common good and yourself, the common good being satisfied, should satisfy yourself. You shouldn't need to feel an individualistic sense of pride in what you do. You should feel pride in what you accomplish. And if you serve the common good, then you are absolutely providing something and you're doing something right in that scenario. Because when you provide something to the common good, you're doing what humans were intent to do. The thing that makes us Homo sapiens and truly like powerful as a species is the ability to work towards other people's success. I don't need to be successful. I need all of us to be successful.
Oh,
Okay. Please stop throwing. It's getting all over my floor.
I'll clean it up, I promise.
No.
For the common good, which I would argue against because...
Okay, I'll pause and it's your turn.
All right, so here's the thing, right? You can argue for the common good, but by arguing for myself, I am supporting the common good because I'm supporting other people to not be dirty communists. Also, if you support the common good so much, I've got a debit card of one Ethan D. Metcalf right here. I will read these numbers out loud so that the people in the crowd may, the people in the audience may.
Did you take my credit card again?
I have your credit card.
I saw you took it out of that, and I was kind of weirded out by that.
It's called a prop, and it's for this exact debate because the whole time I knew that if you would stand for the common good, then you would support giving money to all of our viewers. So if you support the common good, then say the word, and in my rebuttal, I shall read off the numbers, the expiration date, and the 3 on the back, so that all of our viewers can be commonly supported by you.
Do it.
All right, I will.
Do it.
Okay. 4, 2, 8, 3, 4, 8, 4, 1, 7, 8, 6, 4, 7, 7, 2.
Can I see the front of the card just before you do that? I just want to see which card it is.
I'm sorry, folks, but I can't allow this to happen. I don't know if Matthew's doing a bit or not, but I cannot allow this to actually even this far happen.
God damn it. I'll give it to him.
There's too much happening.
Won because he didn't know his card number. I thought he'd know immediately. He doesn't know his
I'll
card
be returning the microphones now.
He doesn't know his card number. It's actually 4316518276414963. Expiration date 10 of 22. Sorry, that already expired. That's 22. No, that's 6 of 29. Customer since 2012, and the numbers in the back are 390.
I don't know if that was real or not. I don't, but that did give away the point. So I guess it's a point to Ethan because.
Gave it away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's Ethan. Although, did you just cancel your joke?
Yeah, I did.
Did you seriously?
Yeah, I did.
Ethan,
I just requested a new one.
Dude.
Okay,
Is
so
that,
folks,
is that your debit card?
we still need to talk. Giles, I need you. I need you. So we are the judges. We get the final say.
Yeah.
Ethan, 1 second, you get on camera. Matthew relinquished the point. Do we respect that? We're the judges. We don't have to.
I respect it. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'll be honest. I lost track of the plot, and then Matthew gave up the point. So yeah.
Close the audience because I stole the microwaves. Microwaves.
What
stole
the fuck?
mics away. He
Michael Gravity.
And as Matthew read the numbers out, Ethan pulled out his vote and requested a new card. So that just happened. Yeah. I think we have to respect that.
Yeah.
I think Ethan gets the point.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Ethan has to get a new credit card because of this episode,
Yeah, no,
I
he
think-
already requested
Yeah.
it, so regardless of whether or not Matthew read the actual numbers, he has to get a new one.
yeah, I think
Shut the fuck up. We're the judges. You don't get saying shit. It goes to Ethan.
Ethan now with 4.5 points, Caleb with 5, me with 2.5 points.
Oh, yeah.
I gave a point already.
Okay.
Matthew with 2.
All right, who's up still? Probably still
Uh,
Ethan.
Yep, Ethan and
I want to point
me.
out, I had to do my 11 back to back. You already did yours against me, so you have to do less than 11. Fuck you!
I can handle the emotional.
Okay,
spoil.
so the next question, it's one word with a question mark. And Ethan, you're arguing no, apparently, and it's feet.
Oh yeah, you're arguing with me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Give me like 20 seconds because the amount of popcorn on my table is actually upsetting me, kind of.
You didn't clean up during the show.
I don't, but this is a lot of popcorn. Here's the broom.
Here, just go ahead and talk while I pick it up. In the audience,
I just want to sweep it out of the way because if people step on it,
I did a camera zoom so we can no longer have any chance of seeing the balls. Hopefully.
Yeah, let the audience see what they want to see.
I
can't find my phone to see if anybody's chatted. Can I get a fucking...
No one has chatted in the past 2 hours.
Matthew, it's right here. You can go sit.
Wait, how long
whenever
have
you
we
want.
been streaming? We've been streaming 2 hours. We have 3 hours, right?
We have an hour.
Yeah, we have like technically 4 hours, probably closer to 3.5 because a lot of
I think
Matthew,
we're over halfway.
Matthew, here's the alcohol.
Thanks.
Ethan, what do you think about the episode?
I think this is fun.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm enjoying this. I'm going to put this down here.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to put this over
Alright,
to
Papa.
Matthew. Here you go. Here's that as well. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going second. You're going first. And the question is feet.
Okay. You're going first, right?
No, you're going first.
I'm going first.
You're arguing no. I'm arguing yes. This is all improv and
Oh,
assigned
that's
at
right. I'm saying no.
Yep, you're arguing no to feet.
Okay, yeah, no. Metric is obviously better. Like, feet is an objectively worse. Do you know how many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
Yeah, the only way to know it is some dumb metromatic thing of like 5 tomatoes, where it's 5. I don't even know it. That's why it's so dumb, though. You can't remember it in meters and feet. Like, meters and centimeters are just like 100, 100, 100. It's so much easier to recognize. We even use it in America in our scientific measurement. When I was an engineer, that's what we used. Like, feet was used as like a bonus question of like, can you convert? But you would convert it to metric, not imperial, because feet is just objectively the worst way to measure things. The only thing that I can say that is good against it is you can kind of look at your feet and be like, it's about that. That's the best argument for feet, is that you look at your foot and you're like, it's kind of that measurement. And honestly, if we go through here, I doubt any of us actually have a foot that is actually close to the imperial
Do you have a
feet.
tape measure here?
I do.
Where?
I'll save that for my rebuttal.
All right.
And I'll
keep.
keep going. I still
Okay.
have 28 seconds. Also, feet is just honestly the worst way to describe a unit of measurement. When you say feet, you don't think of the measurement of feet. You think of feet.
Self-report.
No, that was what you and Caleb said when we were designing this episode. You guys both put this in here because you wanted us to talk about whether foot fetishes are weird or not. And nope, I'm not taking it this direction.
You're not taking this.
What the fuck is the measurement on this? These are not inches.
No, that's
That's his dick measure.
That's actually a metric instrument. That was used in my engineering class.
That's his dick measure.
Can I see your ruler, please?
Yes.
I'm gonna wait for this.
What the fuck did I
What's the video? We gotta hold on video.
So usually I'm the one who falls over on the episode, but Jesus Christ, Ethan just face planted as he tried to get up.
There we go.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, my hip hurts. Fuck.
Are you gonna trust a drunkard's argument or someone who can clearly stand up? I'm gonna start my timer. All right. Okay, so you said that's because metric system is so much better than the system of feet and yards and all that. But okay, a simple idea.
Yards is also an imperial.
Shut up. Anyways, yards is not imperial. Yards is 3 feet, so fuck off. But a simple way to ask this question would be, okay, 12 is divided by what numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, wow, it's divisible by so many numbers. Whereas feet, the metric system, it's a base 10. 10 is What? Okay. 10 is divisible by 1, 2, and 5. That is so many less numbers. The foot system is like the non-metric system, the imperial system, or whatever it's called, is so much more better because of the divisibility aspect of it. Having a base 12 system would honestly be better for all number counting systems. The fact that we are stuck in base 10 is a problem that we as Americans need to get past. Base 10 is a fault that we just keep getting stuck in because we want to stick to our roots as Europeans. But Europe has failed us. Look at Brexit. Look at Rome. They have all failed. We need to, as Americans, move forwards towards the truth that is the base 12 system that we have made an attempt to, but not actually finalized. Base 12 is the future. It is the best possible system. Well, yes, oh no, you don't remember the exact numbers. Tough shit. It's better for every other aspect for divisibility. And again, I can walk around without falling over. Woo! Look at me. Okay. So yeah, there we go.
I hate you guys so much.
He hates you. Are you going to vote for someone who hates you?
I slipped, okay?
Starting his time. Can I ask a question?
Okay.
No,
No,
start.
I started my time, and I would like to just start by saying that as someone who works in IT, I work in a lot of things that are base 12 or base 8, 256 or like 128. And the problem is that when you develop these systems that so many people don't know what you're talking about. You can say that it's better, but the truth is that like the multiplication and the idea of in our heads is actually so much easier when it's base 10 or base 100. Moving zeros is so much easier than actually having to do math. And I think it's just really disrespectful to say that we can say that these systems were invented by the British and that we like should revoke or like get rid of them because of that. But the fact is that when something is good, you should use it. And the problem is that the metric system is objectively, scientifically better than imperial because feet makes no sense.
I will go on and say that during the argument, at different points in the video, you can cut back to that, people have thrown their feet in camera, which shows a pro-foot bias. So I'm going to acknowledge that. I know you're saying, oh, it's because it's so much easier to use the base 10 system, but we're not going off of what is easier. We're going off of which is better here. And I don't care. It's only easier to use base 10 because you have the 10 multiplication tables up here in your head. If we had during schooling nailed into those brains that base 12 system is this set of multiplication tables of 12, 24, 36, 48, 62. Like that would actually be something that people would remember. It's only because we haven't drilled that into our heads that we have this problem in remembering it. The system is so much more divisible. It makes so much more sense because you actually get whole numbers when you divide, and whole numbers are so much better than fractions because fractions are fucking bullshit made up by fascists.
And on the word fascist, that's really good for your position.
Yes, because I'm arguing against fascists.
I would like...
No, you're done!
No,
You're done!
Not an argument. I would like to say we have a third watcher. I'd like to say thank you for watching
I
us.
want to ask a goddamn question of the Trooping Test.
You can.
Yes.
Ask his question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Define a foot. Define not a foot.
I'd like to say, did any of our foots actually measure up to a foot?
No, we had approximately 10, approximately 10, approximately 10, approximately 11.
Giles
What
has
the
a big dick.
Hey! Vote for me!
How do we have the same size foot? That's
Give
weird.
me your big toe.
Yeah, how do we have the same size foot?
Yeah, that's a great
You
question.
are smaller by about half an inch.
I have big feet, which you know what they say. I
Yeah,
have
but apparently I have the biggest
big
feet.
shoes.
Yep. Big socks.
And
You are a little bit smaller than me and Matthew by about half an inch. Me and Matthew are almost exactly the same, and yours is an inch bigger.
I think you know who you need to vote for because of this.
Define what a meter is.
Define.
What a foot is.
Oh.
I would argue my opponent, what is a meter in feet? Do you know what that is?
I don't need to know the conversions of a
What is a
inferior
million
system.
meters? Feet do not exist without meters.
You're not listening to the argument. You're creating your own argument,
All right,
Matthew.
I would like to vote now. Mike's to the voters. We're done with the debate.
Mike Swally.
All
you're
right.
watching
So
this.
Matthew,
Yes.
I would like to.
On stage.
All right.
Just let us fucking sit here.
Up.
They should be on the hot seat.
No. This is between us. So Matthew. Oh, don't beat your cross.
Oh yeah, you're gonna nail me to that later.
That is the plan.
You're gonna nail me. Later.
That doesn't sound right. So,
I'm gonna get nailed later.
so, Mike, a little bit farther from race. I feel like there were some great points made on both sides. The increase in divisibility of 12 is actually a very good point on my. I agree with that. However, he didn't really address the fact that I don't think 5,280 is divisible by 12.
I have no fucking idea. Let's do some math.
But
here.
here's the thing, even if it is divisible by 12, it doesn't have the ease of memory. I don't think Ethan was correct in the whole, I need a memory trick to it, because I don't. It's 5,220. I know I said 12 earlier. Fuck off. It's 5,280.
You just said 5,212.
That
Then you said 5,220.
I'm
You
wrong, by the
can't.
way. I fact-checked myself. I was correct.
It
It
is
is
divisible.
5,280.
I'm a drunkard right now, so ignore my bad
right
math.
now? Can we go
But
back real
the
quick?
point is,
right
in general,
now,
I remember it as
right now he's a
5,280.
drunkard.
I'm also dyslexic, so cut me some slack.
I'll cut you a lot of slack. On
So,
this cross.
I don't know. I think in the end, I have to go with Matthew. What's your opinion?
Ethan, no question.
Here's the thing.
Why? Explain.
Because your argument is balls.
Why? Explain.
Do you
Because
have-
you can't define what a foot is.
That wasn't. That was
I-
after the fact.
I have to agree with Giles that define what a foot is a bullshit question.
But
However, actually listening to the argument that I heard, I also have to confer with Ethan that the metric system is better.
you have to confer. You mean you have to talk with him?
I have to. I
Nobody
have
in
to
this room knows I'm
congregate.
just-
I have to align with. I have to parallel with Ethan.
There you go.
That
Close enough.
I give Ethan the point.
Ethan
sorry, guys.
wins. Woo! Don't fall this time.
Ethan, are you okay after face planting into the ground?
Yes, I'm fine. It hurt my hip a little bit. You know, I'm old, but
Giles, you're
That's gonna hurt in the morning and when you're 60.
probably I'm turning 25 this month, so I'm old.
turning.
Are you doing anything fun for your birthday?
Yeah, actually. Separately with family, I'm going to karaoke, but with you guys, I want to go bowling.
Sweet. We should
It's up
rent the
again.
rink before it's gone.
We're going again.
Okay, what's the question?
You can go first or second. Do you have to wash your legs in the shower?
I mean, we wrote what our opinions are, so I'm gonna say
I think you put yours down first with that one, but we'll see.
I did. I'm gonna start with no. I don't.
Wait, that's not what you wrote down. Oh no.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
No, you put yes. You wrote yes. You do have to wash your legs in the shower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, this is improv. This is all improv.
I guess I will go with yes. Okay, yes. Washing your legs in the shower is important. I will say that your body deserves to be clean. You know, it's something that it's just like, yeah, you can kind of skip it. You can make the argument that the soap will drip down past your legs or whatever. But the main argument kind of comes back to the towel argument of, are you a real person? Do you care that your body is clean? Do you care that, because included in your legs is kind of that sweaty armpit area of between your balls, you know, where like if you don't clean that, that's included in the legs. If you aren't cleaning all of that area, then you aren't cleaning your body. And even the point lowest of your legs, that deserves a wash, because that's where dirt kind of gets kicked up when you're walking around. Your legs deserve to be washed because you deserve to be washed. Every person deserves to be treating their body with kindness and respect, and cleaning yourself is kind of the basis of respect. You wouldn't argue that someone doesn't deserve to like clean the last canine of their teeth. When you're brushing your teeth, you brush your whole teeth because your teeth deserve to be clean and you deserve to be clean. And your legs also are a part of you. They're equally as a part of you as the back of your canine. And I think it's kind of dumb to argue that you're not, because you're in the shower already. Why did you already have the floofa or whatever of like with the soap on it? Just kind of give your rugs. It's not hard. It's not like an argument of like whether or not you should. Again, you can argue that the soap drips down, but just give yourself a clean. You deserve to be clean, and you deserve to have the comfort of knowing that not a part of you is missing that kind of experience. And I will end my time.
All right. So, to quote the question, do you have to wash your legs in the shower? What, if I don't wash my legs, are the police going to come and take me away to a place where I can wash my legs? No, I think that would be bad if they were kidnapping people to force leg washing. You do not have to wash your legs. To morally and legally enforce it would be a crime. Worse than would be a moral failing on behalf of us as Americans. Which is why I do not think, do you have to? No, because I believe in personal liberty. Again, do they deserve it? That's not the question. The question is, do you have to? And we could even go further of, oh, well, as you mentioned briefly, the water drips down. I would say pretty heavily that letting water drip down from my head onto my legs is not by definition washing. Washing is an action. It is a thing that you do. Simply standing there in the shower is not washing your hair just because water is gone on your hair. Washing requires some effort on behalf of the individual, and I believe you would agree with how you described how important it is to do it, and how we all deserve it. But no, we are not required to, and it is a good thing that we are not required to. I don't remember where else I was going with this, but in general, no, we do not have to, and it is a gift from the state itself that there is no legal authority checking up on us. Do you really want homeless people who do not have access to clean running water getting thrown in jail because they haven't washed their legs? What kind of, once again, I'm going to use the word fascist are you? I know you do have the red tie, but that's just, it's not a good thing to do. We have to accept the fact that it is the ability to not wash our legs that makes us goddamn Americans. God bless America.
Alrighty. I'll start my time with just saying that when I made this exact same argument of should someone be required to vote, that I lost that argument. The argument of punishment or like anything like that is actually not really relevant.
It was a split vote
to the people. It's a thing where, yes, we could talk about punishments or like making someone do it, and yeah, we shouldn't make people do it, but the big important thing about should someone do it or do they have to do it is not whether or not there is a punishment. It's more the fact that, like, do we value that person less than another person? And I would say that someone that doesn't properly clean themselves is someone that we absolutely don't value as much as someone that does clean themselves properly, Like, there's so many experiences of, like, people going to festivals or, like, shows where they show up and they, like, smell terrible. And you just look at them and you're just like, you don't have to do that, but it's disgusting.
I mean, we all agree that stank is not a good thing. It's not wanted. But the legs are not going to be contributing to that to the same extent. You do not have to actively engage with the action of washing your legs is the thing that I'm arguing. Because you are arguing that you have to engage with the action that is to wash the legs, but it doesn't actually make a difference. It is an ineffective thing, and we shouldn't be requiring it legally. We shouldn't be requiring it morally. You're saying you think less of people. Why are you thinking less of people? Because of their financial hierarchy status. This is a bad decision that you have made here, and it reflects on your character as a person. Ad hominem, bastards! So, yeah, I see the rest of my time. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Okay. I would like to say that...
Too bad!
No, not in our argument sense. Both of the microphones are blinking. We have less than 15 minutes. We have one more argument.
All right, so let's wrap up and do this quick.
Yeah.
I don't get my arguments.
All right, quickly.
I have no idea.
So I was going to do a whole thing where I pretend to be on both of your sides. I'm going to go with Giles.
I'm going with Ethan.
All right, half point to both.
Because I don't like
You voted against me every single time, Matthew.
Yeah, because you're the closest I'm going to get to
We
win.
have
Let's see.
time for one more.
Which one do we pick?
We have like 15 or 20
One
minutes.
of Matthew versus me, because you have more arguments than I have.
No, I want to be Matthew versus Ethan. Wait.
Yeah.
You've had Matthew
Is
and
there
I
a
have-
God?
All right, let's just stop arguing out and go.
Is there a God?
That's you guys.
No, there is not.
Get on the team.
I come here as your Lord and Savior Jesus to tell you that there is no God.
I'm already. Wait. Okay. Apparently, you're.
He's going first.
Okay.
Apparently.
I was crucified. There is no God.
The minutes, fucker. Keep talking.
I don't have to fuck her for 2 minutes. I can fuck her for 1 minute.
Are you ceding your time?
I'm saying that there is no God. I don't know how I could make that argument. You can't. There's no logic you could prove to make there is a God. And when God himself tells you there's no God, what do you believe?
So, do you cede your time?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna say yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Is there a God? We all create for ourselves our own idea of what a God is. We all, to ourselves, create some sort of object that we attain, that we strive towards. Be that money, be that owning a house, be that owning a business. We all have a God that we work towards. And this has gone back for centuries, for generations. People have been striving for their own God. And by that definition, we do all have a God, and therefore there is a God, because we make God in ourselves, in our own desires. And it might be disappointing that is that all there is? Who can say? I cannot truly say one way or another, but just as we cannot say that there is no... Okay, we're apparently resorting to violence. Just as we cannot definitively prove that there is no God, we cannot definitively prove that there is a God. Apparently violence is continuing to happen. So I don't know how to respond to that, because this is Jesus doing violence, saying there is no God. But we all create God. God lives in our mind, and in our mind he is alive. And to feel and believe is natural.
So you believe Descartes when he said, I think, therefore I am? The implies that the belief of people makes a physicalness.
Hey, Caleb, what would you say about him doing that during my speech?
Really annoying.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Listen, if he wants to believe in God, I can make him meet God really easy.
But it's not belief, it's is there a God? And we have throughout millennia, created gods for us to worship. And through that alone, if enough people believe and act like there is that belief in the thing, that thing does in some way exist. There is a cultural existence of a God through our collective agreement and worship through that, through different objects that we have put in that place. There is that God that does exist.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Matt, your turn.
You could argue all day that there's a cultural God, that you've created a God, that you worship the God of this fucking debate. But that's not the question. The question is there a God? You are claiming there is multiple gods. A God implies singular. None of you understand how fucking language works. Cede this debate. Fucking secede this debate.
You stop shaking the microphone.
Fucking shakes the microphone. Deep throat it. My point being, there is no God. There is gods. Undercase, lowercase.
That was not your first argument. You switched your argument.
What? There is no God. God lowercase, there is. God uppercase, as the question implies, no. And that's all I have to say about that. I secede my time.
All right.
All right, Ethan.
Wait, what? I still have my second.
No.
I have my rebuttal.
Sorry, I'm bad.
So while I do understand the argument, it's not that there is a specific God that we are worshiping, that is the true one. We all fill in that blank with a certain person. We all take different objects and put it in that blank. I understand you're talking in the microphone during my time. The thing you said was very annoying, Caleb. Thanks for doing that. We all fill in that blank. You're saying, oh, there is God's plural. Yes, but they're all putting on that same pedestal that is God. That pedestal still exists. No matter what object is put there, that pedestal is still the same that is labeled God. And in that way, God does exist. He's going to show his ass on camera, live on stream. OnlyFans subscribe. Anyways, God does exist because that same pedestal is there for everyone. As I already said, he switched his argument from there is no God to there is gods but no God. So he is switching his argument. He is now saying, I'm not making a coherent argument when he switched his argument himself. I have remained on the same point the same fucking time.
All right, so now it's to Ethan. Sorry for interrupting the argument there while Giles was going on his great debate.
I would like to say we really need to buy another set of microphones because
Really
when you guys
do.
do this, And you too. When you like bring it close to your mouth, it makes it sound so much more like in depth.
Yeah, please,
We
for the
just
love
need
of
to
God,
set-
clip it to your coat. Don't fucking move it.
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, so that
So,
I
Ethan,
don't
I have a great
not
proposition
hate
for you.
Giles.
No point. They both sucked.
Can I get a point so that Giles doesn't
So,
win?
no point.
I didn't sign up for this poll. Matthew did.
I'm gonna say neither of those
No
arguments
point.
were like an
That
actual
was terrible.
discussion on the
The more
spiritual
they talked, the
environments that-
worse it got. So,
This was just yelling at each other about a distinction of is there a God versus is there multiple gods.
So-
Which wasn't the argument. It was is there
How about I beat
do we have time for another debate, or we have to call it here?
we haven't probably time for one more.
All right, who's up next? This is
Me
no point.
versus Matthew. What government agency should be removed? Matthew went first last time.
Go ahead first. Go, Giles. Hurry.
Okay. The answer is clearly the TSA because we all know how much Ethan. The answer is the TSA. Ethan loves 9/11, wants 9/11 2, allegedly in Minecraft. And we've already discussed on who would be the subject of a 9/11 2. And if we did remove the TSA, that would be kind of funny. And at this point, all that really matters is kind of, humor. Everyone lives for the meme. That's why we all joked about Free Luigi earlier. We love laughing about tragedy, about horrible loss of life, because at this point it's funny, because we see the up and ups, the people with wealth just not caring about ours, and so why should we care about them either? We should remove the TSA, because again, all they do is make it take longer to get through to your plane and make you possibly miss it and make your entire experience a hassle for no reason. And how many terrorists have they caught? 0. They haven't done shit. We look at their track record and they've done nothing at all. Oh, but maybe they dissuaded a terrorist from doing it. No, they didn't. People have got other instruments of weapons through, but it doesn't matter at all. Apparently someone wrote penis is the best font on the board that I'm looking at. This is all improv. But, TSA would be the one to get rid of, because it doesn't do anything except make our individual lives worse. And if it did actually fail to stop something, we would all laugh. It's funny. We all hate Boeing. We all hate planes. We all hate the first class people who fly first class. So we have to get rid of the TSA because it's funny and because it would make our lives easier. I cede my time.
If you think that the TSA is actually going to would stop another 9/11, your head is so far up your ass, I can't even fucking begin to pull it out. The TSA, you could pull 9/11 right now. The TSA doesn't do jack shit. It's security theater, moron. It's just to make your life harder and to make it seem like they tried to do something. Because 9/11 was done by the U.S. government. I've already established this. If you wanted to totally fuck the government up, IRS. I know they're basically useless, but it would really fuck everything up, because without taking your money, the government wouldn't have any money, because they're not taking it from Elon Musk. They're not taking it from Bill Gates. They're taking it from you and you and me and you. Is there anything more I need to say there? The idea of getting rid of the TSA is wait, what's the point of this? What would you remove? Yeah, I guess it would make air travel easier, and then I wouldn't have to take my shoes off. But what's the point of that? I like getting felt up by a TSA agent. It makes me feel pretty. So if you don't think that I get to feel pretty, then I guess you're a hater. IRS.
You want to do rebuttals, or just want to go up there?
Let's just
No, I want to do a rebuttal.
Oh my god. He's always going to do a rebuttal. We could talk about this shit all night.
Do we really want to let a pervert enjoy being touched up by government officials?
Are you serious?
Shut up! And the IRS is actually the only part of the government that actually does its job. The issue isn't, we need to fund it even more heavily. We don't need to just remove it. We need to fund it more. The TSA doesn't actually add anything. And ICE, as I said, it doesn't actually do anything. And you're now claiming that I said it would actually stop one. I specifically said that it
Where did you
doesn't.
bring ICE up? You can't even stay on the same goddamn government agency you're arguing about.
He apparently overheard me saying the word ICE at some point. He is too drunk to understand the
You
English
said
language.
ICE! I can play the tapes!
No, you can't. Anyways, he is adding extra arguments during this for no reason. Where he didn't say anything for why you should get rid of the IRS other than, but they're not funded enough, so we should just remove them. What a bitch move!
You love to make up arguments. First you call me a pervert.
You keep talking.
He gets a rebuttal. He gets a rebuttal.
First you call me a pervert.
He's forfeited his fucking rebuttal.
First he calls me a fucking pervert. Then he claims that my argument to get rid of the IRS is because I don't think the IRS does anything. No, I think the IRS does something. I think we get rid of it because the U.S. government needs
Here
to
you go.
fall, idiot. Jesus.
Already.
And also you did say ice and I can play it on the tapes.
So here's the thing. I was initially on Matthew's side. Honestly, if he had just shut the fuck up, I would have given it to him. But the fact that this man cannot respect his opponent's time for a goddamn second, I have to give it to Giles.
We were supposed to start screaming at each other by the end of this, you fucking asshole!
He started off by screaming at each other. He has not once respected the opponent's time. And even though I was honestly on the side, fuck the IRS, you're right, they're not doing anything. We should fund them more. But we can't fund them more. We can, but in this hypothetical, we can remove them and shut down the United States government. So you know what? Let's remove the IRS.
Wait,
But still give the point to Giles.
Caleb, I'm gonna say we're gonna have split points here. I think Matthew's argument was better, but I think that I do agree that
He said ice. And he called me a fucking
Stop
pervert.
talking.
I think it's a split point victory where one person had a better argument, but they were also kind of a dick during it.
That whole point
So-
is to be a dick.
I know.
I'm going to have to give it to David.
I'm
Dave
gonna say
Giles.
split.
Split? All right,
Yeah.
so point.
Split point.
God damn.
Maybe you should respect the sanctity of the debate.
I didn't get last place!
I know.
I predicted I would lose, but I didn't!
So here's the thing, folks. The mic's going to end soon, so we have to call it here. I'm so sorry. Giles is at a disadvantage because he can go through all of
Giles,
this.
what's the best font? Say it real quick.
But weirdly enough,
Times
it
New
seems
Roman.
like Matthew's going to lose regardless
Yeah.
of whether or not Giles gets the rest of his turns.
What's the best
So,
font? Times New Roman?
Matthew gets the punishment.
Comic
Yep.
Sans?
Matthew gets the punishment.
So,
I was
Matthew,
not told.
do you know what the
You-
punishment is?
You made the punishment.
You made the punishment.
You gotta
Oh.
try this lovely little candy we have here called Cummies.
Oh, I didn't
Let's,
intend this to be the punishment.
show
these were a gift for you.
Those were the punishments.
Those were a Christmas gift for Caleb that I never got to deliver.
Well, he wanted it to be the punishment, so you
This
have
is
to eat
punishment.
one.
You have to eat this. Not all of it, but you do have to try it first.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, did you want to try the hot dog flavored candy canes?
Yes, I would prefer to eat that.
No.
It's too late. You already
You
have to
have to try that.
No, you can
That's
eat the
the
cummies.
punishment.
The cummies were for you.
No. Try a cummy.
There's a lot of violence.
By a pervert. Alright, Ethan, you know what to do.
I do. Yep.
Matthew, you have to try.
They're gonna fly.
Matthew, I love you, but please eat the cummy. Don't make this harder than it has to be, okay? Please get your head up. Okay, just eat the cummy. Okay? Open up. Open up, baby. Open up, baby. Oh.
His balls were
Matthew, just eat it. Eat it in this end. Eat it in this end, okay?
This is
You're
some
just gonna
goddamn
get bullied
this is
until
so
it